Hello, hello, hello. Give me a second, please. Sort a couple things out. I'm gonna start the day off with some PvP creative as JUMY. This is the WardiTV June event, guys. Yeah, honestly, I don't know what we're doing this week. This week's kind of gone a little bit tits up, but it's okay. I'm not here the next couple of days, so we're gonna stream today. We're gonna do this one group, and then hopefully we'll get some players together, groups A, C, and D next week in this WardiTV June event, and yeah, hopefully just go from there. Today's gonna be a bit of a wash because obviously there's also Star as the core on. I didn't realize it started so early today. Like, when I checked it a couple of days ago, it was starting at like 1 PM. So, like, we would have had like an hour free and we could have gotten a lot done in that time. But it's whatever. It doesn't really matter. Today's going to be, like I said, a little bit of a write-off in terms of viewership. It'll be all the rage in terms of everything else. So, I got this ready to go. Gonna get JUMY and Creator in game. They have vetoed already, so we should be good to go in just a moment. We'll kick off into some StarCraft 2. Where am I? I'm right here. Hello. I'm right here in beautiful England. It is sunny-ish today. I have to lean down to look out the window because I have the blind pulled down because it's been in the summer. The sun comes right through at some point and it really blinds. So I have to pull the thingy down. So yeah, hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. We're going to kick off, like I said, Creative vs. JUMY in just a couple of moments. Let's get this set up. Yeah, hi. Hope everyone's doing great. I'm excited to just cast some games. It's been a little while. Obviously, we're here for WardiTV. What did we do this week? Did we do WardiTV Mondays, and then Tuesday I didn't feel good, and then Wednesday we did the qualifier, yes, and then I didn't stream yesterday. Okay, yeah, it's been kind of it's just a weird period with loads of events going on. Next couple of weeks we'll be kind of back on streaming a bit more properly again, and then obviously Home Story Cup, and then we'll be streaming a bit more properly again until EWC, so just a little bit on and off. And it's very typical when we kind of have other bigger events happening, so just in case you're worried about the passion and so, do not worry. We're going to get WardiTV European League started up soon as well. We just finished the crowdfunder for the WardiTV 2025 series. Unfortunately, we didn't hit our crowdfunding goal, which is super unfortunate because it means we can't continue to crowdfund during the events now. Because the crowdfunder gets turned off if you don't meet your goal in the initial period. So unfortunately, we can't do that. But we still raised some good money to help run some tournaments for the rest of this year. So a little bit sad, but not completely. Yeah, not completely sad, but not what we were quite hoping for either. A little bit of a shame, but such is life. I was really hesitant about doing the crowdfund, and looking back, I think it's probably a mistake to kind of dive in and try and pull it off. So it's a lesson learned. For future reference, at least. If nothing else, players are ready. Let's get into this PvP. Yo, stuff. With the 50 euros on the freaking super chat. I play StarCraft like a noob, yet you super chat like a champion. Thank you so much for the 50 euros to kick off the day. Is maybe like, oh, today's gonna be a bit of a wash. There's not much gonna, blah 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 blah. Shut up, Wardy. Have a super chat. He says. Thank you so much, mate. I appreciate it. Skin bug. Okay, we're just gonna rehost this one more time, guys, and we'll get this going. Yeah, thank you so much, Christoph, for the 50 euro donation. That's super generous of you. Thank you so much. Super appreciate it. Hell yeah. I'm gonna get this rehosted, guys, and we should be good to go in a couple of moments. Like I said, just having a little bit of a blip trying to get into this PvP, so apologies. Like I said, we should be back at it in just a moment or so, and into some action, into some games. Very exciting. Very exciting. Hopefully you guys are excited, because I'm very, as you can tell, very excited over here. Very excited around these parts to kick off into some StarCraft 2, and as we're just missing JUMY. JUMY, where are you? I am unable to receive game invites, that's classic. Alright, he can't load into the game for some reason. Alright, we'll get that fixed up, we'll get that going. Again, thanks for joining us, guys. Good to see you all. As you're just waiting for our players to join the lobby, we'll swap them around and we will be good to go. Beautiful stuff. Alright, like I said, guys, a couple of moments. Sorry for the delay. Just getting things started a little slow. That's alright, we're in no rush, we're chilling. Just gonna enjoy some games of StarCraft 2. Hello, Ali. You showing up for the stream start as well, are you? Hi. You coming to say hi? Hey? Gonna come say hi on stream? Yeah, jump up. Come on, jump up for once. Come on, up we go. Yeah, there we are. There she is. Ellie is here to officially launch the WardiTV June tournament. Thank you, baby. That's what we needed. There you go. Alright, the game is starting, Ellie. Good job. You did a great job. Great job. Proud of you. Yeah, you came on the stream like a queen. Alrighty. Let's cast some games of StarCraft 2. In the bottom right-hand corner, we're going to start off with our Korean Protoss player in this group. It is going to be Creator as we get into game number 1 on Maganatha to start off the PvP, with the blue Protoss in the top left being JUMY, the European German Protoss. He will be our European participant in the games today, in a group full of Koreans. Alright, I'll kick this off, we'll get this going. In the top left-hand side, JUMY sets himself up with a gateway and a gas, and just all things nice for the early few moments of this. Nothing really too crazy. We've got a probe coming across the map as well. I'm going to apparently follow those rocks, and there we go, we get off of those. And we'll follow the probe out to the upper left-hand side of the map as we take a little peek as to what's going on and as to what is happening. There we get settled down. Take a few moments, probe getting back up in this top left-hand side to scout about early. We are going to see 2 gateways already from Creator against a single gateway of JUMY currently, so we are seeing a little bit of a... Oh, sorry, he is going double gateway. I don't know what I was talking about. I think, you know what, it's been a few days since I cast StarCraft, and I looked at the production tab, I saw 2 gates versus 1, it's like, well, there we go, but JUMY's has just finished already, so... Ignore me, just getting my brain back into StarCraft mode. Like I said, it's been a few days. It's just been a busy week. You know what it is? Obviously, I was in Poland last week for Kilaris's wedding. And, truly, I just came home and I was like, oh my god, like, I feel so overwhelmed. And this doesn't really happen to me. And I just felt like I had so much stuff to do. I had some YouTube work to do. I had a little sponsorship thing to make for YouTube as well. And I was just like, I just felt so overwhelmed. I was like, oh my god. I think that's why I didn't feel good on Tuesday. It's why I decided just to take yesterday off as well in the end. And I'm just like... Man, it's just been kind of a weird week for me, and then obviously we've got busy StarCraft times with events actually happening and stuff. But a little bit more back on track with things now, which is nice, but apparently my head's still not quite in the StarCraft game, so... Yeah, apologies if I say a couple of dumb things today, my brain might not still 100% be there. I'm away again Saturday and Sunday, but we'll be back Monday for WardiTV Mondays, and then next week we'll have obviously WardiTV June playing out. We're going to launch the WardiTV European League for the year as well, which will be very exciting. Looking forward to making a fun format for that one. I'm definitely piecing together a couple of things to try and make that interesting and to try and get as many people involved as possible, because I think that would be really cool when we have the regional based events, just to get as many people partaking as we really can. Stalker here going to hit the Nexus, and a couple of sentries in the Stalker gun down this ramp. It's a good force field from JUMY, and he is able to catch that first Stalker. Wow, he doesn't get a kill on it though. Wow, I was absolutely convinced this was just going to be a kill. It wasn't even in my mind that it wouldn't be. So that's a little bit crazy as now two more Stalkers showing up, and that Stalker did indeed get away. It will regen shields, and that's a big deal because now we're actually going to kill a sentry in return. And it is going to be created to really bounce back with a little bit of this damage so far. Battery available does help a lot, of course. That really does slow down this aggression because you are just attacking into healthy Stalkers every time. Your own Stalkers are taking real hits that are adding up over time as well, so you just can't sustain that. So I think it gets to this point here, as you can see, where these Stalkers continue back and forth, and makes a lot of sense just to mostly hold back, as we did go Robo Facility from Creator as his initial tech structure. With that Robo up and the Immortal pumping out already, we're going to get to a very strong army sooner rather than later. He found this pylon up here earlier as well, by the way, with the probe, which is why he moves there now to go and clean it out. So that's going to be a nice, easy pick-in, and just force JUMY into one more pylon here or there, just because you know it's there. And like I say, there's not much else to be really done at the very front door anymore, so why not get in there and go and make a couple of things happen. Stalkers head down to the south. The probe taking the watchtower for a few moments. The prism and the adept continuing to build up as well currently. As your Lex, thank you so much as well. Coming in with the Prime for the 34 months. Appreciate the support and hope you're doing great today. Thank you so much for supporting the stream. Well, Immortal and Sentries, the Adept as well, continue to gather together. We get a pylon out down over on this other side, so we get that set up too. +1 in the Blink, continuing to come up and online currently. The Stalker, Sentry, Immortal just pushing out to that watchtower over the next few moments. Again, +1 and Blink both continue to come into play just for the moment. Stalkers warping in. We continue to work our way up the left-hand side. Again, +1 and Blink, not far from being done from JUMY, but not going to be here just yet as we have this first push in from Creator. 15 army supply ahead. The force fields here from JUMY have to be very good. They have to buy him some time. He only has one battery about to finish at the front. There is one a bit further back. First force fields are decent. Definitely going to buy you a little bit of time there as the prism begins to micro. And again, time is your friend because you're getting close to Blink, and the efficiency that that brings will go a long way for you, as JUMY will still have another wave of aggression to deal with. He actually has got Adept up in the main base as well, sorry, so they get 5 workers. Now we attack into the natural one more time here. And in we go. Creator this time going to have a little bit more success. Force fields again to try and play the zoning game. I mean, Blink is now finished. We don't have a crazy amount of Stalkers, but we have a good few. Apparently we're back in the main base again, still dealing damage. Credit to JUMY. He's having to split away and deal with that every single time, although that's obviously just not great that it keeps on happening. Creator's going to go for the same move again. At what point do you just get a probe there to actually wall off that position and to stop these Adepts from getting in? Because that's where the damage is really being done. At the front we were doing fine, but not anything super crazy. We bought a ton of time. Buying time, but losing so many probes and so much mining time makes it so much tougher for you. Now with 2 Immortals here, I don't think JUMY actually has enough, and Creator very convincingly pushes in to claim a victory in this game, one of the best of 3. As the Prism will go down. Is it over? It may not be just yet. I mean, Prism going down stops the reinforcements, it stops the Immortal micro, but I mean, let's be real here. 28 probes have gone down, so while the game will not end right now, it will be significant advantage over the Creator, who is going to have so much production available to him off of a strong economy. Now, he doesn't have Blink, and maybe JUMY can make some magic happen with the Blink as a way back into this game. Maybe he can blink around. Maybe he has an opportunity or a chance to potentially, possibly, go and, get across the other side and try and really make something of this. That +1 and Blink both continue to come into play. I mean, it's unlikely, but hey, you've got the tools at least to give it a go, right? That's what it really comes down to. You've got the tools in the form of these Stalkers and the Blink to get on the map and just have a scout around. Have a little check to see what's going on. Have an opportunity to try and figure out what is taking place and how things are playing. Why the hell not? Let's get the Immortals turn back around to get a Stalker. We'll warp in one more Stalker. And, well, I mean, honestly, with 2 Immortals up defensively, I feel like we're going to be okay. Battery doing its work. It takes so long to get rid of that Immortal. JUMY knew he had to make something happen. He couldn't just walk on the map and mess around, so his attempt was to dive the natural, but that was not going to be good enough. And that is going to be GG's, as JUMY is going to drop down a game, and Creator opens up with a win on our first match of the day. We'll let him host game number 2 up, as he was having some UI issues that's usually solved by him just hosting the game instead. So we'll get that sorted and head into game number 2 here on this WardiTV June Group A. Persephone. Gonna be our map. We count down for the second map. So yeah, straight into this, guys. Get this on the road. Countdown wraps up, and we should be able to go into Persephone here. Get this underway. Get this started. Kick this off into action. In the top left, we are going to have ourselves the red Protoss player. This is going to be Creator. Up against the blue Protoss. In the bottom right-hand side, we're going to have ourselves a JUMY. Obviously, best of 3. Everything best of 3 today. 6 best of 3s in total. Starting off with this 1-0 lead for Creator in this opening best of 3. And after this, we got ByuN versus Kira, and then we're going to have a mixture of TVPs happening. This Kira, ByuN, take on Creator and JUMY. And those Terran versus Protoss is after, so that's what's coming up for the day on this group. It's just a 4-player group, 2 players advance to playoffs. And again, we'll have the rest of the groups and the playoffs all happening next week amongst, between kind of GSL days. So that's how the scheduling is working out for the foreseeable future. As we get this underway, just going to be seeing that pro moving out. Going to get on the go for a couple of moments. A couple of assimilators continuing up as well. Two gateways each, so no one going to try and go away with the single Stargate starting point or anything along those lines. It's going to be very regular here initially with those 2 gateways, so playing kind of down the middle, straight, steady, normal. Nothing too crazy in that regard, as again the cybercore and the gateway comes online, the probes are coming up. Bring a lot of that through for the moment as continue to settle down for this second game. Probe scout from Creator, and he will be the one to get across here into the base and try and pick up on some information and some confirmations of what's going on. Got that 1-0 lead, does not want to give it away for anything silly. So we move through, probe will take a few nibbles. And that probe continue to take a few shots. The damage being done. Again, a couple of stalkers coming around. The warp gate is building. Sentry stalker on the way up from JUMY as well. Following this probe, but it's been exciting as it does a ring around the rosy on the natural and then will be forced out by Sentry Stalker showing up to kill it. A Stargate opening from Kratos is something a little bit different from him. Stargate, a great way to get an expansion off. Very typical way of playing. And actually going to see JUMY drop the Robo Facility down as he may look to bring the pressure in this next few minutes and try and take a game number 2 on the side of aggression. Or with a slice of aggression on his side, I guess. As that definitely seems to be the go-ahead for it right now. So these 2 stalkers will poke forward initially from Creator. His Stargate will get an Oracle at first. He sees the Nexus coming down, so he's not going to be immediately worried. I mean, it's not a 3rd gateway. The fact it is a Nexus does suggest there's going to be a bit more of a passive opening still from JUMY, but it's going to have harassment in the form of that Prism coming out, and it'd be surprised not to see some warp-ins on the other side. But obviously, it's not going to be 3-gate. It's not a gateway on the map or anything, so we are limited as to how much we can build. We have spent 400 minerals on a Nexus. That delays you in terms of production, too. So Creator's not going to have the most miraculous kind of perfect defense of all time. There's just not going to be that much pressure in it from JUMY, although it can still catch Creator off if he has the right unit comp, and JUMY and Creator has not, found himself a way to get enough units up straight away. Those are definitely moments in which you can get into a bit of trouble. The Twilight Council on the way up right now. Obviously, it has just been that single Oracle build so far, and that Oracle does come across the map here currently. Coming over to try and spread some light on what's happening, what's taking place. Drops the stasis down as well in the front. That's obviously a big deal, just blocking up the front a little bit, get that stasis down, get annoying. Even thinking about heading into the main base for a couple of moments of sentries. Actually going to not be good enough to get rid of the Oracle. They zap through shields, but not the rest of the HP bar. And that is going to be the Oracle getting a perfect scout too. Raw Prism seen, fully revelated for a few moments there. Obviously got a sentry kill with the Oracle, goes into the main, can stasis ward here. And try to deny some mining time, potentially. You already saw a few probes pulling away. JUMY. It's so annoying because it's like the Oracle shows up, and if it doesn't get pushed back, you've got to consistently keep an eye on when it puts the stasis down. So it just continues to kind of keep you thinking for a few moments here and there. As you have Stalkers in the prison continue to gather, and they will head towards the upper left-hand side. Extra Sentry, Extra Stalker warping in right now. I mean, this is where JUMY is still going to have a little bit of pushing power. Pro's actually going to pull in from Creator. He has up like 9 workers, so he's able to give up some workers here. To be fair, that Nexus is more of a fake out than anything else so far. Force fields have been okay, but I wouldn't say they've been incredible, and I still feel like Creator is really, JUMY is really lacking like a little bit of firepower to truly push through, especially against, you know, the batteries that have been doing great, and now the Void Ray showing up. Prismatic Alignment is going to trade so well in this situation. The Void Ray goes down, but in having to target 2 rounds of volleys onto the Void Ray, that is the Stalkers then taking advantage here from Creator, whose only issue is going to be the Micro against the Warp Prism, and he is starting to get some kills anyway. He's going to force the cancel on the Warp in. That is huge, and Creator is going to push this back, holding on. Equal worker counts. Who do we prefer to be right now? I mean, Creator has the Twilight, so you can go into a Blink or so. Both of them have a Nexus. I think I prefer Creator's tech for the next stage of this game, as Healing Shrine will actually get put to use on some of the Stalkers, although obviously it doesn't heal shields, it just heals the green health bars. So yeah, just trying to get some more value out of there, just bringing everything back up to max HP wherever possible. We settle back down as the few Stalkers continue to make a move back up toward that upper left-hand side. Have a stasis going into the back of the main. The Oracle is activating a couple of those probes, continuing to take some shots. Stalkers hitting away, shots being fired. And the blink coming up, the probe coming through. I have a lot of units on that right hand side, a lot of Stalkers gathering together. There's some warps in. Start a fight, result in the Stalkers, able to get rid of one Stalker there immediately. There's the Void Ray showing up. Going to be able to get rid of the Prism, no? Well, you have the Stalkers on the Prism, I guess. Now these Stalkers are going to dive that Void Ray, which is fine. You know, you don't mind that as Creator, because again, it takes damage away from the Stalkers. As long as that's the case, it's looking as though his defense will continue, and Creator looking as though he's going to be able to steal away to a 2-0 win at the start of the day. It's a good position for him at this point, right? Double army supply, worker lead, tech advantage coming up with the blink going to be done soon, to the point where JUMY agrees with us and he says GG and gets out of there. And it is indeed going to be Creator to take game number 2 and the first series of the day. So we're just going to have that. Perfect. All right. We're going to be hopping over to Korea, so let's do that, because up next we're going to have ByuN versus Q. We're going to do all the mirror matchups initially, guys. So the PvP, then the TVT, and that's going to leave us with the TVPs after, but that's okay. People complain less about TVP en masse than the mirror matchup still. Alright, we'll get this sorted out, get some videos done, and we'll get ourselves ready to go into some Terran versus Terran, guys. So a couple of moments, kick this off, and straight into our next best of 3 here in a couple of minutes. Alright, Torches, Persephone, Incorporeal, and Last Fantasy vetoed off straight away. Those are our starting points. Okay, a couple more videos I'll be ready to host up for the next little bit. Magnatha, another video. So you have one more video, and we'll have some map picks coming into play. We'll get that ready to rumble here over the next few moments. Have that all set up and kick this off. So, StarCraft coming through. Ultra Love going to be the final video from Kira, and then we have some map picks. We'll be able to get that underway in the next few moments here. See where we will go. Leyline's going to be the first map pick, so we'll start up on Leylines. It's a nice starting point. Let's see what our TVT is going to give us across the course of these next few minutes. Second map, Tokka map, third map, Pylon. Perfect. Needs a minute. Once this minute is done, we'll kick off into this game then, guys. So it's going to be a little bit of TVT coming up online very shortly. Ready is up, happening, and like I said, I'll be heading in game in just a few moments. Let's wait for Kira to be ready. Like I say, TVT on the way. Again, thanks for joining us, guys. Good to see you. Appreciate you all being here. I know there's other events going on today. Just wanted to stream something before we. I just wanted to stream something before we continued through and got to the weekend and. Didn't stream again, so I'll stream today. Like I say, back full force next week for a couple of weeks before Home Story Cup comes around, so that's where things are heading to at the moment. Jump into Leylines. On the top right hand side of the map, we are going to have ourselves the blue Terran player. This is going to be Kira. Taking on the red Terran in the bottom left hand side, it is going to be ByuN. Alrighty. So, Terran versus Terran. Again, get the other mirror match about the way. We'll be into a bunch of TVP after this, but I see ByuN, who's honestly been much better in TVT lately, I feel like, and Akua, who has always had a very solid TVT. I think this makes up for a good matchup. Definitely one of those matches where you can really expect either or of these players to come out with the win at the end of the day. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens as we get set up here and ready to rumble. Maybe a racks on both sides. SCV's coming up, the Reaper coming through as well. And the orbital commands on the way, so everything very normal for the first few moments. There is a scout and SCV of Q. It's about to show up on the screen here as it enters the main base of ByuN over the next couple of moments. Yeah, he's just going to come up. If you're going to scout the SCV, get the information. He's going to go factory before expansion, so it's interesting. Q is choosing to double gas and scout. It's extremely safe to the point where if you're ByuN right now, like a lot of the time you don't really scout with double gas because you just naturally have what you need to defend. If you do scout, you usually scout like maybe outside of your base, just look for proxy barracks and that's about it. So yeah, very safe play from Q considering his build order. That scout is probably not necessary, so yeah, interesting stuff from him. ByuN already had ground CC, so he's going to be playing fairly cautiously himself. Of course, that makes sense on the back of no scout at all, and he is expanding before the factory, so slightly faster expansion from ByuN. Like, ByuN is the player you'd expect to SCV scout in this game, and alas, he is the player that is not SCV scouting, which is very ByuN as well. ByuN will, run the risk of not scouting a lot of the time. He will, many times over, just not kind of go for that information, just very confident in his micro and his ability to respond last second to things, so yeah, that's a typical ByuN kind of approach being exercised here. Over the early minutes of this one, just going to have ourselves the Hellion, the Reaper, continue to come through. The starport coming up on both sides, orbital command still coming in. SCV and the Hellions building up as well. And the two Hellions and the Reaper just going to set up, heading out into the center. Reaper going to take the charge out toward the middle. Reapers and Hellions gathering up over here. Going to hit the few Hellions in return a little bit. And again, just continue to get settled for these early stages. Cyclone coming through from Q. Command Center on the way. Starport and Orbital on the way. Reactor also building as the Hellions get chased up into that main base. This is going to be a pretty good cleanup. No, it's going to be Q getting rid of every single unit of ByuN. Raven and two more Hellions coming out. So ByuN just needs to buy some time. Try not to lose too many SCVs here. Might go with his Hellion bait shots. There's two new Hellions show up. It's a cleanup for him, but he loses out of the Hellion. He loses 4 SCVs. The Raven out, I feel like, almost has to go across the map to try and find a little bit of countering damage, right? As Kira is already setting up for another wave of aggression. The medevac is a major sign of aggression, because the medevac will lead you into playing a, this tank drop, essentially, and that is going to be a pretty big deal over the next few moments. So, eyes on that as the Raven heads to the top of the map. And away we go. Medevac here. We're going to be pulling down across as well. So yeah, that's the... It's not a tank drop, sorry. It's a Cyclone, the Marines. The tank is still at home and is positioned in the main. There's the Raven we saw going across the map. Let's see what it can find. ByuN will have a Raven advantage in this game as time passes by, as that first order turret finds one SCV and then killed off immediately. And the drop in the main base, I do fear, is going to be having high potential, but units show up. We're going to get rid of a Hellion at least. We lock onto the Raven momentarily. And the Hellions are actually pretty good at kind of absorbing shots and dealing damage to some of these earlier unit kind of attacks. When it's only a couple of Marines, they get burnt down by the Hellions very quickly. Now, the Hellions don't do much against the Cyclone, but it takes a long time for the Cyclone to work through all those Hellions as well, so that kind of goes both ways. As you get rid of an SCV, the few Marines and the Hellions still coming across as well. Force that medevac to lift off. It's going to go back in a way there. Interference Matrix and Raven production continuing as the Siege Tank is still coming online for now. Hellion Cyclone just up through the center, heading toward that upper right-hand side. Stimpack still building. While tanks gather in, the Hellions will join up. Cyclone shots, and the Marine just gets into that medevac there, so able to escape away for the moment. And tank Vikings, the Marine all poking through. The barracks or two on the way up as well. And Stim building by. Let's just have the Hellions still lingering. Look at that, 4 Ravens. So much Raven energy available. ByuN wants to push into position and do something with these. It's going to be tough, honestly. There's a lot of tanks sieged up here. Like, the Ravens aren't enough numbers to matrix every tank to push in. There's going to be some counter Raven play as well, though. I mean, you've only got one tank here, and I don't think we've got enough to really do much. Maybe we don't need to do much. I mean, we could auto-turret this natural up, and that's going to be a problem. Start hitting some of the SCVs here. Tank comes in as a response. Gonna get some SCVs now. Actually gonna fly up into the main base. What's cute is you got the 2 Vikings, right? So as Ravens try and chase into this, the Vikings actually put some good damage out. We Matrix the Cyclone as well. Protect the Ravens. It's been decent, but I think actually well handled by Kira as well. He kept his units out the way of auto turrets. He did lose 11 SCVs though, so the flyby is pretty effective, honestly, from ByuN. Like I say, I love that he had those couple Vikings, because it meant he was able to start zoning the Ravens of his opponent immediately when they came over. And obviously, combined with auto turrets, there's just no way those Ravens can truly commit through and kind of step into those positions. It just will not work. Again, 1-1 upgrade, Stimpack coming by. Just going to have ourselves a tank and the Marine still building up. And Q is maybe just going to start pushing outwards here. There's only 2 tanks nearby from ByuN. I mean, the Ravens are going to step up and they are going to get a lot done eventually. Matrix goes down, auto turret went down as well. I mean, ByuN just is not reinforced here to be full strength just yet. Well, Vikings end up landing, the Ravens still moving back over. Marine's going to step up, Vikings still going down. 1 Viking, 2 Vikings in trouble. All those auto turrets still gathering together. And just putting some work in. And SCV on the bottom side as Kua gets across the map. He's got 1-1 upgrades, so worth noting that he has got that bio kind of advantage. As, we'll see if he can do anything with it. Obviously pushing down the map strongly at the moment. Has always held on to his 3rd base in the game, so has been able to mine fairly consistently throughout. It's definitely a benefit thus far. As the army gets back into the middle. And a few Marines pretty coming along with it as well. So Marines continue across. Still joining in the center for now. +1 attack. Combat shield going through. The Ravens back on the other side, and it's another few SCVs that end up dropping there, so getting some reasonable damage done. 2-2 still very much so being brought into play right now. Combat shield, tank, Marines coming online. And again, we get rid of another Marine right there. This army still heading across through the bottom. And do we want to go on a dive onto this orbital? It's going to become our question here as those tanks are going to begin to siege. Nice unsiege from ByuN. Actually gets that tank away. The other tank unfortunately didn't unsiege in time from the Matrix. The 2 tanks further back are going to be okay for now. SCV is going down again as ByuN's Ravens are across the map and auto-turreting to death that mineral line. That means he doesn't have the Ravens defensively, but at least, like I say, you're doing some good economic damage. And that's giving you an edge and keeping you in this game in a lot of ways. So, definitely a bonus. Scanning out once again. Army just going to be seen. +2 armor starting up. Orbital wants to come stepping over. We're going to try and bust through this now before more units show up. Ravens doing a little bit of spell casting. They do get some auto turrets down. ByuN pulls the SCVs and he killed another 5 SCVs across the map. He loses 9 here, but honestly, he wipes out this entire army. Kind of like it for ByuN. He's going to get rid of 1 more medevac as he chases away as well. Nicely done. His Raven's still kind of up on that top side. ByuN is down and work is coming out. There's a little army supply lead, but not too much of one. This game is going to still kind of be very much so up in the air for who's going to grab a lead. Planetary Fortress coming through for Q on a 4th. Now that, to me, might actually be the lead for him, right? Because ByuN is only on the 3. Okay, no, I lie. He's got a 4th orbital here, but an orbital... I mean, TVT, a lot of the time you have to back away with the plant... Well, you know, a lot of the time the harassment is in the form of, like, a tank siege, and so boom, then I guess an orbital can lift up, but... It does mean you're going to be susceptible to, like, a little Marine drop here and there. The planetary will not be able to defend itself. You know, if it's not planetary, if it's an orbital command instead, so... That part of it I don't love quite as much. But he does have a 4th CC. So he can move that into position, and that's important because there was definitely a benefit being taken here by Kua as he lingers down the left side. There's honestly enough tanks here, but they need to siege up. Okay, perfect. They just sieged up. And ByuN gets those there at the right time. As he actually loses the Raven that just flies overhead a little bit haphazardly during those moments. Now those Marines and Medivacs pull back the other way. Keep our eyes on everything else. A few Marines going to get stimmed at. Marines just going to have to dart out of there straight away. Marines going to come through. Other Marines showing up. Tank is going to fire. A few Marines begin to go down. Got 3 upgrades coming by as well. Plus 2 vehicle weapons as part of this. Marines and tanks on the way up. So the scan, keep an eye on that army. Moves out, down through the bottom side. We are going to be seeing the Marine tank force continue to step together for the moment. Marines join up with the rest of that as well as the tanks will siege across the board. Marine starts stem out, just going to be seeing the other tanks sieging up as well. I mean, a lot of this fight's going to happen out of reach of the ByuN's tanks. So he pulls back into his own tank range. He kind of needed it as well, as opponent's Marine count was getting way too high in comparison. A couple of Vikings overhead will edge their way forward and threaten the medevacs, and that will be about all that they will do for the next few moments as we just see the army going to relocate back around into the center one more time. Scanning here and scanning there. Still coming around that far left side for the moment as we have the 3 upgrades coming through, plus 2 vehicle weapons a part of that. I mean, as always in TVT, defensive advantage is a very real thing. Tank lines like this are not easily broken through, and we yet to see either player really kind of make that next step of, you know, let's get more Ravens out, let's get Liberators out, let's start to really get something that can push back tank lines. A little bit of air control being taken as Pure builds up a few Vikings. But yeah, not really on those extra starports and like a massive air production that would be typically the next step to ease you into the next stage of this game where you really can break down ByuN's defensive position. So yeah, leaves us in a little bit of an interesting place. You see some fun upgrades still coming up, and there's the starports from Q, as I mentioned. Just kind of need to get into those at some point. Like, you just can't play this game without those forever. So yeah, you really do need to get those online at some stage, and that's exactly what he is able to start doing now, as the drop from ByuN gets denied completely, so no benefit there. Of course, Q had taken himself to a 5th base as the advantage he holds from all of the map control and advantages that he's had thus far, so that's definitely a major positive as well. Green tank back over the right sense tower, coming up on the top side. More CC still in production. Yeah, CC setting up, Marine tank getting into the center right now. Tank's already nicely sieged. You're going to see a big Marine stim coming by as well. ByuN actually has a lot of his tanks in range of his opposing tanks, so he had some good shots off there initially, and I think that trade actually goes the way of ByuN. What is a concern is that Kira is making Ravens, ByuN making Libs. Libs are nice, they can break down tank positions, but typically Ravens are the better unit to have if you can control that army properly. Our tanks just sitting in reach of other tanks right now, and shots going backwards and forwards. You have a few Marines slipping down the left side as Kira tries to bring something across the map to put a bit more pressure on. There's still a little bit of a tank mate in the middle of the map, just continuing to scan each other. Everyone sieged, keeping an eye on those opposing armies. Tank's going to be firing. Again, a few Marines taking some more shots, so more damage going back the other way. On the left side, some Marines come through. CC will take some hits. He's going to be burning. He's going to be very nearly falling. Marines on the way around, and those Marines around the back going to get rid of some of the additional Marines there as well. So ByuN with a cleanup on Cure keeps the CC alive, most importantly, can get that landed repaired and get another base on the go. Cure definitely got that the little bit of control, which allowed him to start out expanding ByuN a little bit, but ByuN's fought back well. He started to expand quickly once he got control back in his favor. Now even seeing some tanks just sieging up here and there, and these tanks arriving before all the Marines and the medevacs sieged up and hitting this location. In the middle of the map, we're going to see Cure barging through, though, and this is the power of the Ravens. You can just nullify the defense left behind, and that's why Ravens are so good to go into at this stage of a game. They can do so much for you, and ByuN loses everything in the center, and that's obviously a huge position on the map to be losing out on. We're going to lose the tanks in return, though. Cure getting too happy with moving on in without really stopping to consider the consequences. That's going to be costly. ByuN could target fire SCVs up here. Be the right choice. Get rid of as many as possible off of the command center repair. And then you maybe have a chance to break that planetary fortress down. Fire. Planetary takes some hits. I think you ignore, by the way, 39-month resub on the Prime. I appreciate it amidst this Terran versus Terran siege up that we currently have ongoing. And you're taking a few more shots. You got the Marines out into the center. The other Marines are going to step through as well. They're going to get jumped on and cleaned out. Fortress is still taking hits. Out on the bottom side, we had to chase away Marines and medevacs getting hunted. Those Marines continue to come over, but do they want to walk into tank range? Probably not. TVT at this stage becomes extremely complex, right? Because you're constantly having wars of, you know, this amount of units here and this amount of units there. It's a constant back and forth of aggression between the players at this stage. That's exactly where we stand. I mean, these tanks have been hitting this base for a long time, but the repair is good, but that is also costing you money, so it is a strain on Cure's resources. Gray shows up as well, which helps to really push back the SCVs there, but now the Ravens are going to show up, and so Cure bought himself enough time to find the defense. As ByuN sees the Ravens being used over here, he will strike through the middle of the map instead, so using this to the very end as a 1-2 punch. We'll lose pretty much everything on that position, but like I say, we'll be able to start sieging here. Cure gets a couple tanks in position, though that might be good enough. ByuN actually going to load a lot of, well, not load, but run a lot of Marines up to the top. Flipping those around. No Sense Tower over there anymore means that Cure is blind to those kind of moves, so you can't preemptively move against it. It's a nice stem in. Again, the weakness of having an orbital there. As ByuN, yeah, planetary anywhere? No, he's just playing mass orbital, and that's exactly why playing orbitals is rough. Marines alone can show up and ruin your day, and it doesn't take many to see extreme success when you have no natural defense in position. I think ByuN's going to surge this position, though. It's a ton of Marines. Ravens aren't going to do much. The planetary won't do much against this many Marines either. I think this is going to be ByuN just stepping in and finding himself this base, which he's been working on for a while. Obviously, there's not any SCVs here to really repair anymore. Does lose a fair few Marines still. A couple planetary shots in the center will do good damage. Splash damage is reasonable against Marines, of course, as always. As ByuN still just building Marine tank, he's going to go for the complete non-air style here. It's a very, again, ByuN way to play. When you just kind of ignore the fact that, you know, building air units would typically just be better for you. That is typically the way you play this, and ByuN just says, no, not me, not today. You're not going to get surged a little bit right now. Again, that Ravens are going to be an issue. Can ByuN come up with enough to make that? Well, that's just a good question all around. Can ByuN actually get enough up at all to kind of really just deal with the Ravens and overwhelm them in numbers on the ground? I'm not sure. He needs to start doing something. His supply had been dropping. It's an anti-arm missile as well. It's going to make a lot of the Marine versus Marine fights difficult for ByuN because he's constantly going to be behind on upgrades because an anti-armor missile will be on him. And I think Cure making the bid into proper air tech is going to be the real decider of this game because his army so far, over the last few minutes especially, has looked formidable. For any run by and attack he's taken, he's definitely delivered more in return. And his main army is just that good because, again, the Ravens allow you to do so much in the game. They really dictate so much of what happens. It's such a fascinating factor. So Ravens will step forward again here. Matrix, Matrix, Matrix. All those tanks getting sieged up. Marines stepping forward. All of these Marines continuing through, a couple of tanks, the medevacs coming about as well. The scan coming around, Marines are going to be seen. Ravens on the way up to the top. Tank going to get siege. Matrix goes down, grabs the siege tank. The rest of the Marines still stepping forward as well. Anti-armor missile hits a good few Marines being taking damage once again. As we have got tanks, Marines, and the Liberators still coming up. More Ravens coming through. The Marines are still in production. Gonna see those Marines going to start stemming forward. A couple of tanks going to get caught in a stasis. I mean, again, anti-armor missile is such a huge factor. ByuN is replenishing units quickly because he's, building cheap armies, because it's mostly Marines, a couple of tanks here and there sprinkled in. He's actually building a Liberate now. Not sure how much that will find. I mean, that's the only reason ByuN stayed in this, but as his resources get lower and lower, he's going to have less and less of a chance to really continue to do anything with that. So I think we're getting to the point here where we're probably going to be seeing Cure victorious in a game one, because he really is just stepping through the map. His army is looking extremely tough to beat. I'm looking around, and I mean, what can ByuN really do? I mean, he has to kind of fight this, otherwise he's given up way too many bases. If he fights this, he can't win. His army's worse. If he backstabs, he's going to lose bases he can't afford to lose. Liberate is cute for a few moments, but it will not do that much in the long, kind of run towards the finish line in this game. 4 tanks, a few more Marines, all coming through. Just go down a couple of tanks here, so they're just slow pushing into base after base. Here is, I mean, typically if Kyo is fully focused here, ByuN would want to be expanding elsewhere, but he's kind of running out of places to go elsewhere to expand to. This bottom right is Kyo's, the top left is already just being denied as well, so Kyo just has very good control in a very important position, and ByuN is going to evacuate and pull over to the left instead, make Kyo move further onto the map to be able to deny the mine of that location, which makes sense. Yeah, ByuN has to get it done with counterattacks. His army is not as good. He has to try and pull Kyo apart somehow, but again, credit to ByuN. He is staying up there and staying maxed out. It's just, again, you look at the unit compositions. It's the same Marine count. And actually has a bunch more tanks. It's like double the tank count, but he's also up against 8 Ravens. And I think that air control is just so powerful. Full energy Ravens especially are going to be able to do so much. They're going to easily negate the tank advantage. He's just going to play it slow and steady, because he can still lose this. He's got the kind of arm which, if he doesn't spellcast correctly and take the correct fight, ByuN can 100% still kind of grab himself an opportunity in this game, which is what ByuN is playing for right now. It's definitely not over. It's just trending in Kyo's direction and has been for some time now. Still has to put the right moves together to get the GG out of ByuN and to take this game 1. As these matrixes are really killing you as well, right? Just tanks getting matrix, going down for absolutely no return value. Apart from slowing Kyo on the map a little bit, but well, maybe that's all ByuN wants. Slow him down on the map a little bit. Massive counterattack. The typical counter of just mass Marine across the other side is going to find itself on the production lines. Now, Kyo sends back a bunch of Marines. That's not going to be enough, I don't think. We'll see how ByuN handles this, see what position he keeps himself in. He is hitting the production line, which is huge. And yeah, I do not think we've actually sent enough home to deal with this at all. We are heavily stimmed here as ByuN, but he's got the concave on the high ground. Yeah, I think ByuN is okay to sit there. So Kyo not responding to this quickly enough and going to continue to lose production because of it. Look at the choke point. Marines in a concave versus Marines in a choke is a very one-sided battle. So ByuN taking a heavy advantage here. Now Kyo gets up to the high ground. Is it enough to play cleanup though? The extra Marines absolutely will be. So that will be ByuN losing out in the end. But he actually got an extremely good trade. He got a ton of the production. And I think most importantly there, you could just see at the end, like, he traded so many Marines out too. So this was not an uneven trade in terms of Marines. And ByuN puts Kyo in a very weird place, where Kyo has still got production. He lost both of his factories, so he can't build tanks anymore. This is the moment where the Marines of ByuN might actually start fighting through. So this is where ByuN had hope in the game, and Kyo is kind of letting himself get pulled apart. Again, you can't build any defensive tanks right now. And ByuN can't go up that ramp either, but he can sit on the low ground now and pick his way through an orbital. He can come and engage if these units come down the ramp, and he will do just that, challenging this army the moment they show up. He's taking shots in the other direction. There is going to be the planetary fortress that will be knocked down in the next few moments. Almost 30 minutes here on this game one. It's been an excellent TVT, and ByuN has actually swung things into his favor. 50 army supply lead. The Marine mass counterattack. It's always such a deadly play, and it's going to work wonders on this one. Few more Marines and tanks setting up. Another few Marines coming back the other direction. Ravens, Matrix, tanked all. He's still getting blasted there. The planetary fortress taking a few hits. On the other side, we're going to see Kira counterattacking, but again, Kira's big issue right now is he can't build any tanks. Like, actually not being able to build tanks right now is a pretty big problem, no? Like, he can't get any sort of defense going against the surges of Marines, and while the Ravens are nice, he just has no backbone to his army. He's got the brute force factor of the Marines. He's got the kind of the beautiful tech as the Ravens, but to bring it all together, you need something that connects it, and that really is the siege tanks. And they are noticeably absent from the composition of Kira at this point in time. Factories died in that counterattack of Marines, and I mean that entire attack just swung this game, and that is TVT for you. It was looking great for Kira. I mean, never call it over in a TVT because, you know, this matchup can swing around very quickly, but it was looking very good. Like, Kira had the better army, he had a lot more bases, he was controlling the map. He just let one situation get out of hand, and it's really spiraled quickly from there. As ByuN is one of the few, if not the only player that can really consistently make this kind of Marine tank only, no late game air kind of units or anything kind of work. A lot of the other time, you know, if anyone else tries this, they kind of get overrun by the tech units. ByuN has a magic in his play, though. While he loses one base down here, he is hitting bases everywhere else on the map. He's got little groups of units here, there, and everywhere. I mean, it is actually becoming a red map at the moment. All the units swarm around. Actually going to collect into the center for maybe a larger consolidated push. Do not hate that at all, as these few Marines might have stuck around a little bit too long as well. Might have been time for them to say bye-bye a little while back. Which they did not, unfortunately. So they get punished a little bit there. Tank shot, going to get a few more Marines. Other Marines are going to stim up. Anti-armor missile again, striking a bunch of Marines. We step on forward. Marines still taking damage. Continue to push through. Another anti-armor missile going to strike once more. Some more Ravens coming online. The Marines are still building. Those Marines getting after that orbital command. And we'll see a couple of Marines going down there at the end as well. Medevac's falling too. He's going to get there for the orbital. He's going to get there for the Raven. Head up into the main base. 3 Marines up for grabs. And this one is... The thing is, I mean, Kira's just not doing... I mean, ByuN's only on 33 SCV, so rebuilding isn't easy. I mean, I guess if we kill enough Marines off, maybe there's a chance, but we're doubling the army supply here as ByuN, 120 to the 60. And that itself is a pretty hefty statement at this point of the game. Army missile, ByuN going to target down every single Raven. Oh my goodness. That was worth the Marines, and Kira just says GG. He knows he can't stay in this anymore. He lost control of it. And ByuN takes the opening map of Terran versus Terran in this series. Damn, ByuN, man. Again, it was amazing because it always feels like he puts himself into such an underdog position and then just bounces back in kind of the craziest of manners with that army composition. Crazy stuff. Second map will be Tokamak. Drop the link down for that and we'll head into this game momentarily. Again, to the series. Alright, we'll get this on the way, guys. Get this on the go. Go and ready, and we can begin. Second game of our second series today. As we kick this off and get this underway. PG and Go gets called. No, you don't do mirror uploads, but that game was YouTube worthy. Good thing it's already on the YouTube and the full stream VOD. Yeah, it was a good game, but they will see TVT and they will not click on it even if you title it the actual best game of all time. They just don't care. Some people would tell you that that game was boring because it was TVT. There's some slower moments, to be fair. But that's just TVT. I don't think I had enough slow moments to be considered uninteresting, but everyone is different. In the bottom left-hand side, our blue Terran is going to be Pure. As on the top right, our red Terran will be ByuN. Isn't the best Marine tank player in the games like that, prove your points. He is very good at just the Marine tank part of the game, right? Like, the moment you add on Ravens, like, he got a lot better with some of the later game kind of air terrain things as well, but, like, realistically, like, he is so capable of winning games without those extra tech units still, when a lot of people would deem that kind of a silly way to play. I mean, it's hard not to, you know, get behind the fact that he is really good. I'm with you on that one for sure. CC and the factory coming through, and it's going to be that CC, much faster ones again from ByuN, so going to be high ground expand, earlier expand, and then we'll see what Q can do. Start off well for Q that last game. He got in, he got 4 SCVs super early. If you think back to the early stages, he was able to get in and really make a bit of a statement quickly. It was a fun game, actually, because I was thinking back, ByuN had a lot of successful Raven harass as well. You're going to show up, and this time ByuN's going to have a much better defense. Lives that depot, stop the getaway. Should be able to get that Reaper. It's going to be losing the Hellion fight, though. Let's use an SCV, obviously. Maybe can make things run a little bit. So the SCVs are going to pull, surround the Hellion. And the low HP SCV doesn't go down. So we at least get a kill there as Kira in the end, but that's about it. The second one coming up, Tech Lab and the Orbital continue to come into play as well. Factory will land down. Get a Tech Lab on the go, a couple of Marines coming about. And Cyclone, Banshee, Marines, Cloaking continue to come through for the moment. Let's have the Raven continue to build as well. Cloak still coming up, Banshee Hellion. Banshee, Cyclone, and Marines continue to build also. Hyperflight Rotors from Cure. Wow, what a fascinating way to play. Completely different from expectations. So going to be seeing a... I imagine we'd be going to mech beyond this as well, right? Full gas on the natural. So yep, definitely feeling like some mech play beyond this. Would be very crazy to see like speed banshees into bio, but I don't know. Maybe this is the new cool thing that Kira is coming out with. Maybe he's testing something. It does look as though we're gonna actually go into the speed banshees then. Again, going for that before cloak as well. Cloak is not come up here. So yeah, just getting the speed banshees on the go, and like I say, some big harass setting up. If you don't figure this out as ByuN, it can be annoying because it's so tough to catch those banshees without the right units or preemptive setup. So if you don't really kind of get ahead of it, it really can, like I say, become a bit of a problem. So definitely something to think on in that regard. Collins and the Cyclone gather up. Barracks coming through. Across down toward the natural. A couple of Ravens still overhead. A couple of factories are coming up. The Hellions continue to move into the center. Why the schedule change combining groups A and C? Because no one wanted to play in Group A. I asked about 12 players, and no one wants to play, so... Honestly, we're at the point where if I don't get a bit more interest next week, we might even cancel Groups A and C and just have Group D, and just make this an 8-player tournament altogether. Yeah, we are on a severe lack of players at the moment. So yeah. Ay. Yes, he cancelled Cloak, guys. He just went Hyperfly Rotors, cancelled the Cloak. Yeah, the hit squad of Banshees. Matrix is all three of them. It's a good short-term solution. Because the Banshees can't fire, so it gives you maybe a chance to get some defense up against it and so on. Yeah, I was going to say that Cyclone is not safe on its own. We nearly killed a Banshee, but not quite enough. Punches in the main will hit a few Marines. The Marines taking damage and feeling pretty nice coming up and online. You don't want to let this do too much here as ByuN, because if you give the mech player control of the map with those speed banshees and you take damage and you can't really respond, the mech player goes into playing mech with a lead, and that's terrifying. You really want to try and avoid that happening. So third base coming down. Obviously a lot of tanks on the other side. ByuN does have the Ravens right now, so has that in his advantage currently. Green tank will wrap around, rocks will go down. Command center setting up onto the fourth base as well. Get that going immediately as the +1 vehicle weapons and plane comes through again, doubling down on all of the mech things for the moment. Vikings, the 1-1 upgrade still coming by. And all of that up. Concussive shells, combat shield coming through also. Sense tower finishing very shortly. He's just getting that sense tower up. And then the Banshees coming straight through, hitting a few of those SCVs. Now, Gromald, thank you so much for the 47-month resub on the Prime as well. Actually missed a resub, sorry, Kaloff with the 48 months. 4 years, wonder how many games of StarCraft that was. I seen the other sub come through, reminded me that I read that one, didn't mention it during the last long TVT. Thank you both for 4 years and 1 month shy of 4 years on the resub. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Appreciate the support, guys. Thank you so much for subscribing, keeping the subs up, especially during the month or two where it's very busy with other events and we're very haphazard on the stream. We're obviously not live every day at the moment. Doing what we can to be live when we can. As yo, Palm 1, thank you so much as well. 7-month resub on the Prime. ByuN has not found any moment to kind of commit it into, you know, the opposing mech army. What he is doing is getting the Fusion Core up, and it looks as though he's just going to play straight to Sky Terran as an answer to this. Fusion Core suggests that we either go Advanced Ballistic Liberators, or we go actually into Battle Cruisers. As crazy as that sounds, it can be very effective, so looking to see what the choice is from ByuN. Ranged Lib's going to be the choice for now, it seems. Okay. He needs to kind of figure out that that's the style of ByuN right now, because if he doesn't have much anti-air. If he figures it out, he can start building with Thor too. That's really a nice addition alongside all the Vikings that are already up and running. Lib's coming about up Advanced Ballistics on the way in. More starports coming online. The armory's coming through. Hellions still wrapping around. Is the siege tank going to be there? And the Hellions will get turned away for a moment or so as well. The Bio will step up towards the top. A couple CCs are going to go down. Banshees are going to fire. The tank will go down straight away. Vikings and Banshees together. Fire some shots off. A medevac goes down in the sky. We are going to see the rest of this army still taking a little bit of a beat at the moment, so ByuN is kind of taking hits. The problem is he's not really had a chance to really truly get into like the air army that he was building, so this is a great timing window from Kua, who is absolutely exposing the weakness of ByuN at the moment. Now, we are going to run out of air units here as Kua, and if ByuN can get a couple more libs up, he might be able to start pushing this back, but he has got some serious work to do. Because, yeah, he's just behind, and it's going to take him a while to work through all of this as well, and you can see where the problems are absolutely coming about. And we're getting Cyclones added on as well, so they're going to work as anti-air on Kua's side of things also, as ByuN loses this base, and a lot of SCVs along with it. It does seem as though we are going to go to a Game 3, as ByuN says GG, and Kua will take us to 1-1 mech play that just goes strongly through the middle, and ByuN just never really does anything against it. And like I say, I think the moment Kua attacks here is just extremely good because it really says, hey, look, I understand that my army is about to reach its absolute strength right now, and your army is trying to build into something which it's just not yet. You know, it needs time to develop, upgrades to finish, enough libs to come out. We never got to that stage, so that became very costly as well. As we'll throw the lobby link down, get ready to go Game 3. Go, 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 go. And we can go into this Game 3, guys. Kua and ByuN going into a final map here. We'll get this started up. Heading into pylon. Alright, let's go to the loading screen. As we have got in the top left-hand side, the blue Terran player here is Kua. Taking on the red Terran. In the bottom right, we have got ByuN. Alright, Terran versus Terran. We even have Inu just joining us, the Korean caster, and that's amazing because it means that we can steal his camera instead of you guys having to watch the Wardy camera. Done a couple games so far, heading into this Game 3, see what's going to happen. SV comes up, barracks coming through. Second gas coming online. ByuN going to play the single gas. He has single gas expanded every game versus the double gas of Kua, so they are sticking true to their setup so far. And those barracks coming across. We get that ready to go. Reaper is on the way up, so just going to get that going again. The orbital in the factory is coming through as well. Reaper hops out onto the map. Factory coming up on both sides, so we get that underway. We get that started. And yeah, we get the expansion down. Factory coming up. We get that ready to go. And couple Marines, the Reaper. Just gonna go and everything just settling down for a couple moments. PC and the starport both continuing online. Continue to get that going for the moment. We're just going to float out. Again, Cyclone the Marines coming over and get set up. CC about to finish. Tech Lab on the way. And Raven Cyclone. A couple of Marines continue to come up for the moment, so we just get a little bit of everything. As this early game being fairly passive. Not seeing any kind of major harassment early on. As we've seen in some of the previous games, but with that medevac popping out, we are going to see an opportunity for Q to get onto the map and start trying to deal some damage. That's going to be what he tries to go for over the next few moments. Thank the Marines coming up secure. We'll have more coming through as well. There's the drop. That's just going to unload out the front, and we'll just have the medevac to try and aid in some micro here. So see what we can do. Cyclone locks onto the Cyclone and returns fire as well. And we break that with the medevac pickup. Now we have the Raven that can help. What does it want to cast? Probably an auto turret. It's just annoying because you don't really want to drop the auto turret because it's a waste of energy because your opponent just backs away from it. But threatening to drop it, having the Raven right there ready to be like, hey, I can drop this any moment is actually pretty effective. So yeah, that's a pretty neat way to do it. Continue into Raven production then. So again, very similar openings what we've been seeing. Still have that medevac out, and that does mean we can get across the map. Cyclones will be able to drop off. The SCV going down. Command center is going to sit nearby as the Cyclones come back the other way. Going to be getting a lock on there. And it's going to be a cleanup from ByuN. Nicely defended. Doesn't lose a Cyclone of his own. And is able to get a full cleanup. So yeah, denying this aggression. This medevac flying back in empty is an intriguing moment. Kira is going to go into extra barracks this time, so we're not going to mech it up a second time in this series. Just going to go back into the Marine tank focus and try and play that mid game. To be fair, he got into some good positions with the Marine tank in that first game as well. It just slipped away from him, so we're going to shoot a couple of SUVs coming over. Against impact building on both sides. The 1-1 upgrades on the engineering base coming up as well. Tank's just going to siege and get rid of a Cyclone immediately. Got a couple of reactors continuing to build up for the moment. As again, 1-1 stim all on the way in. Bringing that up into play. A couple of medevacs coming through too. And Reaper just going to sit on the watchtower on that right hand side for the moment. The siege tank coming around. Ravens and Vikings going out through the center. The rest of the units sitting on the natural expansion there as well, so they're just going to hold out. CC will go across to the 6 o'clock. Take a position as the Cyclone locking onto the Viking, and is going to get a few more hits away. Now the Marines and the tanks gather together. We get ready to push into the front. Going to fire a couple of Viking shots towards the Ravens. The other tanks are going to get sieged up as well. Nice little Matrix goes in return. Marines are going to step up. Big Matrix is going down. Kira drops the Auditors to try and buy time for his tanks to come out of Matrix, and it will work. He will have the tanks remaining here at the end of it. Actually, ByuN gets forward and will repair up that siege tank. Well, he was trying to, but it got blown up, so it goes down. And Kira's supply looking good at the moment, sitting on top of the third base of ByuN. And that's going to be an issue. ByuN not able to mine from this location. Going to have to lift it up and retreat away back to a further back defense. But that is obviously economy being lost, and losing economy at this time is going to be rough for him as we continue through. Orbital is actually very close to going down. The SCV repair on the natural will save it. But Kira is able to push so far forward with this. He's actually going to take a bad tank shot there, and he will lose that tank unless he has a Matrix, which he does not. So this little bit of a push forward might be slowed. But obviously without a third base landed and mining, you are in a little bit of trouble. Double medevac back across the other way. The Vikings and Ravens still gathering up. Medevacs have a few Marines inside. Unloading the upper left-hand side, SCVs and Marines coming through. 13 workers, 17 workers going down. Nice counterattack from ByuN, always finding a way to stay in the game. And the counterattack is going to be successful to really nullify the third base of his opponent, which is the one thing he's having an issue with at the moment. ByuN actually gets enough Marines here. While he lost the tank, he will clean up the rest of this drop. Kills the medevacs as well. Kills his opponent's third command center. So Kira will not be able to just land back that down and get back to mining. And oh my goodness, ByuN is going to come out of this in the lead. Having the third base dying on the other side of the map is just huge. Like inarguably is just such a big deal, because now you're actually down a base. Now you have to keep on making things happen. ByuN does not need to keep on making things happen. He's good. He can sit. He can chill a little bit. He just needs to defend. Work a lead. A little bit of an army supply deficit. Nice Matrix there. This main base has been an issue for ByuN. Having to get back in here and defend a couple times. And now there's 2 tanks in the main. So good play from Kira and a good position taken. That could make the difference. And Raven wants to get forward. He's going to drop a single Matrix. We're just going to run into this as ByuN. This is really a do or die moment. He needs to clean up in the main. If he does, he's in a good position. If he doesn't, he really would just be in a lot of trouble. So that's where we stand. The tank shots come through. The tank will go down. While the tank gets set up, the Marines still gather. I'm just going to drop back down again as the siege tank will go down. A few Marines going back the other direction once more. And Kira is doing a lot of eco damage. ByuN is losing so many SCVs, and the army of ByuN is just not stacking up. The third base gone from ByuN as well, right? So that is going to truly be, I think, disaster in the end then for ByuN. He had a moment where it felt like the lead was his. He just had to defend, but defending is more easily said than done, right? Your opponent is smacking you in the face with aggression and forcing you to move about consistently and all the rest of it. So unload in the corner here. Tanks and Marines coming about. SCVs pulling through. The Marines step over, tank goes down, the Marines go down. Still reasonable for the moment as 2-2 is about to finish up on the side of Kira. Break 3 just starting, the 2-2 upgrades about halfway done. Going to try and stim in. That's a brave play. I think that's not just a brave play, it's a misplay as well. You know, those 2-2 upgrades from Kira, when I first saw them, I didn't really mention them because it felt like the game was kind of resting on a pivot. But now that the game went on enough, obviously having 2-2 and already being on the way to 3-3 is a big deal for Kua. So that's a major positive. ByuN is relocating his main base to the third, just as Kua has done moments beforehand. So they're both scrapping together some semblance of an economy, some semblance of a position that can keep them both in this game. Base is forced to live. ByuN gets in position, but it's going to be a similar story here. But actually, Kua has a much more scary army underneath that, and that orbital is just going to die. I'm going to say GG. He's not even going to try and keep making things happen. As he says GG, and Kua is going to take the first win of his day here in the best of 3 against ByuN. So Kua getting the 1-0 starting point. Well, that was a series. That was a hell of a TVT. We're going to be hopping over into JUMY versus Kua next. I have to hop back to NA. So we're going to go JUMY versus Kua, and then we do ByuN versus Creator, and then Creator Kua, and then JUMY ByuN to end the day. So that's where the day will take us, guys, in WardiTV June Group B. And we'll take you guys into that in just a few moments. So we'll get that ready to rumble. Ready to start on up. Some TVP action for the rest of the day, pretty much. Some fun games, honestly. Some fun games. Brilliant. Guys, we're JUMY here. It's waiting for Kua to hop on over to NA and get this underway. Tyler, visit Alabama. Thank you so much for using your Prime sub on the channel. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. And a few subs coming through today, guys. Great to see. Thank you so much for supporting. To keeping the sub count as healthy as we can during, like I say, a couple of weeks with just a lot of other events going on and so on. Appreciate the support. Appreciate it. Do 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 do. Bum 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 bada bum 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 bum. Try to find Kua, guys. You didn't hop server just yet, so give it a moment or two. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, viewers will be starting, and it gives us a couple minutes before we hop in game. Like I say, for some Terran versus Protoss coming up next. We'll be heading into that very shortly. And that ready to go, go, go. Okay, just waiting for Kira and JUMY to veto up. We'll get this underway, guys. Again, thanks for your patience between games. Gotta do some waiting here and there. Incorporeal, Ley Lines, Torches, and Ultra Love get vetoed right off the bat, so there's 4 gone, a couple more, Persephone, and 1 final veto. And we'll get ourselves a map pick here in the next moment or two. Last veto from JUMY, map pick from Cure. JUMY's server preference for the first game. Pylon will be the final veto, so this is with no, not Ley Lines, Tokamak, standard map to see left over, Tokamak and Maganatha. And Last Fantasy actually making it into the veto pool, which is definitely an interesting one. I feel like JUMY doesn't veto Last Fantasy a lot. I feel like we see a lot of JUMY games on Last Fantasy. Definitely interesting. A lot of players shy away from this map. A couple players kind of say, bring it on, let's do it. See what that means in terms of this best of 3 coming up, as we should be here in just a second. Second map, Tokamak, and third map, it's going to be Maganatha. Perfect. Cure just needs a moment and be able to kick off into this TVP, guys. So, like I say, a moment or two, get this on the way. Need JUMY to race up and Cure to actually be ready at all. Perfect. Like I say, guys, thanks for a little bit of patience between games. Sometimes it takes a few moments to get those videos going. That's just all we're waiting on right now and today. So give it a few and get back on track. Do 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 do. You guys ready? Let's do this. Jump into game 1 of this best of 3. Like I said, JUMY versus Cure. After this, we're going to have ByuN versus Creator, Cure versus Creator, and then JUMY ByuN to wrap the day. That's where we are going. So let's, without further ado, head ourselves into this Terran versus Protoss. The first of 4 best of 3 TVPs coming up still as we work through WardiTV June Group B right now. We get this started up. Last Fantasy. In the bottom right hand corner, we're going to be starting off with the red Terran player. There's going to be Cure. Taking on the bottom left, blue Protoss player JUMY from Streamer Zone. As we get into game number 1 of this best of 3. Pick this off and see what our plan is going to look like. Three-player maps, obviously the spawning locations are asymmetric. They do not match up. One player is going to be closer to the natural of the other closer to the main, so there's an interesting one. In this case, Cure would push to the natural of JUMY naturally, which means that JUMY will get to the main base of Cure before he gets to the natural. So there's a little bit of something to think on there in terms of how some of the aggression and some of the potential trades can potentially play out of these situations. Binary just coming online, and again the gateway, the simulator, all coming through for a few moments, getting that all up and running. Looking very reasonable for the moment. The gateway is finished, and we'll get our cyber core started up in a few moments. Let's just got the Nexus in first though, so just very eco-focused, get the Nexus going immediately, get that expansion underway. Again, Reaper and Orbital both building up here on the side of Cure, so getting that up, running, set to go. And yeah, kicking off into this over the next little bit. The main goal of the day is to hit top 2 in this group, get to the next round. Third place will also walk away with prize money, fourth place with nothing, so every match is important, even if JUMY, for example, lost here because he's 0-1 while Cure is 1-0. A JUMY loss here could still, mean his match against ByuN is important because it could potentially propel him into third place and some prize money. That's definitely one thing to be thinking on as well as we continue through. factory building, bunker on the way, barracks coming up. Just gonna have ourselves the gateway, adept, and warp gate building as well, so we bring all of that through. Sentry is going to be there to meet the Reaper as it hops in and try and cause a little bit of trouble. Anti Council about to finish up. Couple Stalkers in the Warp Gate coming online. The Reaper will be there as the Sentry gets across. And a few Marines are going to go and hit that Hallucination. So Hallucination takes some damage. And Stalker on the way. Warp Gate coming up. Cyclone and a couple more Marines still producing on by. And the gateway from JUMY on the way up as the pylon gets started as well. Exciting. Obviously that blink is a very traditional and standard way to play at the moment. It is not really far from expectations at all. Pretty much just what we expect to be coming down. So like I say, no surprises in that regard. Get that blink up, take some map control, and just have an army that can start poking about and dealing some damage as well is almost always a nice little positive. As the factory moves over. And again, a couple of barracks continue to put work in. Cranking out Marines, stim pack on the way up. Starport in production. For now. Well, that stim coming through. He's definitely going to shade about. And a few Marines in the Cyclone gathering up together. Blink again finishing very shortly. We get the stim pack. Halfway done. Starport about to finish. Barracks and Engineering Bay both coming up. Depot's on the way. A reactor about to finish on the factory. And the Starport going to lift off and move over to the sides. Just for the moment. That depth shading across is going to go on a little bit of a move into the main base, and Cyclone going to be there to get a little lock on, and the Adept will get rid of the SCV. Cyclone at least getting rid of the Adept in return. Stem pack about to finish. Combat shield and +1 coming up. Charging the armor upgrade building as well. Continue to bring that through for the moment as we continue to settle down here. +1 in the combat still coming online. The missile turret coming in. Medivacs will join up. And +1 concussor shells and combat shield all still building through. Fire goes across, couple stalkers can get chased. +1 attack, concussor shells, combat shield. Building in right now. Storm, charge, and armor with extra gates online. All getting built for the moment. So again, just bringing up a bit of everything here currently. Fire unloading out toward the ramp. Still got that +1 attack coming through. Marauder still coming up. Backup thread going to be finishing soon. Medevac still on the way. Marauders as well. Big push from Kira right at the front here. Storm just finished though from JUMY, and that's going to be one of the main things to help you defend. This Storm doesn't really hit much. Cyclone and single Marine. Second Storm is better toward the bigger chunk of Marines there. Definitely scares you away a little bit as Kira. Force you to split back and force you to not be able to use the majority of your units dealing damage right away. A couple of Wooded Mines get to soften up these Zealots in the front. I think that Kira might stop too much, but there's some extra Zealots from JUMY. And they will help to make the hold happen here for the moment as Kira's army gets pushed back the other direction. And is very heavily going to get chased across to the upper right-hand side. So big plays there. Some good stuff for the moment. CC finishes will lift off, and now the Stalkers and the Archons still gathering out the front of the third base. The fourth base coming along on the left-hand side as well. And Widow Mines and Marines gathering together. Ghost Academy building up. Reactor and Tech Lab again, still very much so on its way through currently. As the medevacs load and get ready to boost in toward the main base. Going to completely miss the army. So opportunity for Q to catch JUMY very off guard because he just did not see this coming in. And obviously now you've got an army on top of your base and on top of your pylons. These gates are going to get depowered. That's a lot of production that's going to go missing now for JUMY. And yeah, you can just see success of this attack already from Q, who is poised to do something out down to the bottom side as well. A couple of medevacs, I believe, moving in over there and drop into the natural expansion as well. So really is just going to be continued aggression from Q. And loading here has his opponent on the run around the bases, having to play the response game and having to try and play catch up on the fact that he's been caught out of position. And now you have to figure out your way back into this, which is obviously going to be a bit of a struggle. Losing probes, out of position, and yeah, just very well played all together here by Q. Great 1-2 punch. Did lose a good amount, right? The drop in the main base took a lot of storm damage. The drop on there on the natural lost quite a few units as well, so we do take a lot of damage from it. It's just he dealt a lot of damage as well. Definitely disrupts the Protoss setup, as usually you'd be whirring into action on 4th base already. We actually do drop the 4th, but the economy is obviously really not good. Down in probes to a Terran who has mules on their side is not going to be doing you any favors at all. Those medevacs go flying in. 3 more units warp in. Results and Archons together. Again, Bio Ghost just gathering up for the moment. A couple of high tempers going through. The Ghost still in production. Had a few Marines and SCVs on as well. T2 now on the way up. Add a ship weapon upgrade. Ghost in production too. Solid Archon Stalker joins up together. Again, T2 on the way. Ship weapons coming about. Vikings, Marine Marauder, all in production. And just going to see a couple of Zealots are going to come charging up. The Archons are going to be there. A couple of units begin to go down. Zealots come in. Storms go down. Ghost still putting in some work. JUMY. Honestly, not a bad attack. He's going to force Q to pick up and jump into his main base via medevac. I just say JUMY kind of bouncing back with a fight right there. As I guess, so I didn't catch it in chat, but yes, this is fully live. The players are playing as we speak, so no replays today. Fully live broadcast players, and me included. A bit of a scan. And it's going to be seeing a couple extra Zealots getting warped in. Robot Bay and the Robot Facility coming through currently. So again, continue to get online and on board with a lot of that tech already. JUMY gonna come up again. Needs to get these storms off. Storm goes quite nicely in the back. He actually dodges the storms nicely, but he's doing a lot of running around from storms. Man, there's so many tech units here, especially Archons that are not EMP. They have a chance to really keep going hard during this. We just didn't lose the Prism, right? No Prism means no warp-in wave. Around the Zealots here would have made this even more convincing, although I think JUMY might be in a great position anyway. Continue to press on through. Ghosts are still going down. We do finally start to lose the Archons. No. The Zealots hitting the Planetary Fortress, get in front. Okay, we're actually going to target down the Planetary. New High Templar shows up, is able to zone with that Storm. So we get the base. I guess hitting the base was not a waste, but I really feel like if you get the Zealots on top of the army, you might just be able to keep pushing through and just keep going. Again, lack of reinforcement waves are the biggest factor there for JUMY, who is unable to really take advantage of the fact that he really had an edge of a fight right in that one. These Zealots come up, just going to be seeing them surrounding, and a set of rocks going down. So Thermal Anthem +2 coming up as well. Just going to see the SCVs lining up as we get that 4th base relocated now. This is the main base in a different location, so Q just going to try and make sure that he keeps mining off of this location. He knows he needs the income. We're 13 minutes in. We're pretty deep in the game already. So yeah, recognizing the need to keep some amount of mining on the go for now at the very least. Well, Stalkers come stepping across. Again, the extended thermal lance and the +2 attack are coming online. Gateways and probes in production. High Templar on the way. Three coming up. CC and the Vikings in production as well. And just seeing the Zealots continue to make their way around that right-hand side, setting themselves up. Observer still zooming about. 3 upgrades. Marine Marauder coming through for the moment. Zealots just going to go knock away that bunker. SCVs are going to pull in. Zealots get turned around. It's a nice little pushback as well. Still got the 3-3 coming up. Vikings continue through 2. Army gathering together. Factory taking some big shots. Big stim. A bunch of those Zealots going to start getting chased out of them. 3-3 is definitely a big bonus from Q, being able to get those upgrades up and online, as JUMY really is looking to keep on pushing across the other side, though. Currently, those ghosts getting chased back the other way. The ByuN's going to get healed up a little bit. Colossus and the Disruptor gathering together. These go down. Colossus getting hit. Zod Stalker getting hit as well. This army still coming through. Nice storm. Acceleration zone fight is kind of wild because obviously you can get out of storms quickly. You can dive on the army quickly. Q definitely doing much better in this fight than he's done previously. He's going to catch so many of the tech units. Still coming through the acceleration zone, allowing him to chase super easily. And Q kills, I want to say, pretty much everything of importance here in this army. A few Stalkers and Zealots get away. The scraps of the gateway units are able to evacuate, but that is not good enough. And JUMY has just lost control, and that's why it's such a shame he was not able to pressure further earlier. Kira is absolutely at that kind of level where you need to press the advantage when you've got it, and JUMY really lost momentum on what was a very good attack, which, like I say, in the moment was quite a bit of a shame. And now it looks as though Kira is going to come on through with maxed out army. He's going to take a very favorable fight for himself initially. Disruptor shot is okay, clips a few Marauders in the background, and extra Zealots show up. JUMY is going to find himself a defense. I'm just wondering where else Q's units are going to be coming from, because it feels like there are reinforcements to arrive. They just kind of arrive from the right side, and they're going to slowly add up to maybe just being a bit too much. The Vikings land back down. Another few Zealots show up from the top side. That's the issue. The Zealots are really good and tanky, but we've got no real damage dealers anymore. The splash damage is gone. The Stalkers are kind of low-key, a little bit kind of dead at this stage of the game as well. They can't do much unless they've got something to zone out in the skies or so. And even that Disruptor going down without connecting, it does feel as though Kua is going to net himself a 1-0 lead. A very hard-fought game for JUMY. Like I say, he definitely had good moments after the start of the game. Was, not necessarily all JUMY's favorite. Felt like Kua had some okay harass and so on. JUMY felt like he put himself back into the game, only now to hit this little bit of a brick wall. GG's. And Kira is going to take game number 1 of this best of 3. So, great return in the game from Kira, taking some good fights for himself, and that's obviously what it comes down to a lot of the time. GG. Alright, we'll get into a game 2 here in a second, guys. That was JUMY's server preference as well, unfortunately. So, going into Tokamak, he's going to be fighting against the server as well, playing on West for this game too. Host it up in game in a moment, guys, and we'll be seeing if JUMY can bounce back. Let's wait for the players to ready up. GG, go, go. Start game. Countdown will be coming through. Get this set up. In the 1-0 lead in the bottom left-hand corner, we are going to have ourselves the blue Terran player from Team Liquid. We have Cure. Up against the red Protoss in the top right, it is JUMY. When do I sleep? Well, considering I've only streamed for like, 8 hours in the last week and a half, plenty of time to sleep late. I promise you that. There's not been a lot of StarCraft coming out of us recently. There's been a lot going on. Like I said, there's other big events happening. I had to travel for some stuff. Non-StarCraft related. Not streaming related, I guess. So it's just been a busy couple of weeks. We've been here, there, and everywhere. Again, after this weekend, I'm away this weekend, guys, Saturday, Sunday, but then Monday we'll be back, WardiTV Mondays. We'll just have more StarCraft pouring through from then on as well, so should be a lot of continued fun. Okay, coming up, the probe is coming through. Continue to get settled here. For the moment. Next is building, orbital coming online. Get all of that underway. Coming online, the CC coming up. Train moves about again, factory in the refinery coming online. Get this going. Sentry and the warp gate continue to come through. Yeah, what's up, Rolf? Rolf, thank you so much for the 16-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for priming us up today and supporting the stream. This is a WardiTV tournament, guys. As always, these tournaments don't happen without your support. So if you want to help, subscribe, and check out the Patreon page as well. Patreon.com/WardiTV. 100% of Patreon pledges go directly into WardiTV tournament prize pool, so do check that out. Stalker building, warp gate on the way. Hellions getting up towards that top side as well, just to try and see what's up. Adept in the Sentry gathering. A few probes going to join together. As the Hellion will take a little bit of damage. Just going to see in the force field coming down. Easy cleanup so far. Great defense right off the bat. Blink building on the Twilight Council. We do see the medevac coming over with a few wooden mines inside, so that's going to be Q's next port of call. Try and get some damage done. Again, Blink building, Nexus and the probes coming up, so we get that on the way. Stalker's in good position. The medevac doesn't quite go down easily. And it'll just be a few moments here as we send one probe in at a time to get rid of the mines. Hellion comes back through, that'll get dealt with as well. But that's a lot of lost mine time. I mean, these probes are just sat there not doing anything for the moment. I mean, at this point, what? Are we just gonna... Almost feels like it's worth waiting for Blink. I mean, this way, you know, by the time you clean up these mines, I guess. Okay, I mean, 4 probes, 1 for each mine. I was just thinking, like, it almost felt as though you would have gotten to mine at about the same time just by waiting for the blink stalkers to blink away from those mine shots. But I guess, again, a few extra seconds is a few extra seconds still, and I mean, then again, with 4 more probes, I actually don't know if it would have just been worth them waiting for blink. That's pretty effective for Q just because of how long it took JUMY to deal with it. If he started sacrificing the probes to the mines much sooner, then I think this would have been better and fine, but he waited so long to start really dealing with it. It's just getting caught up in the moment, not quite multitasking as he needed to. And now JUMY already off to a little bit of a difficult start. Stalkers across the map. I do not think they can get rid of that siege tank with the bio units near it. They are going to get it, so it goes better than I thought. Turret's still there. A couple of probes going down. SCVs continuing to drop as well. Stim pack combat to them +1 continue through. Couple of SCVs drop, and we do have the Stim pack combat shield and the +1 still coming up for the moment. Storm building, gates building. Medevac loads up a chunk of Marines. Stalker's going to get there. Stim combat +1. Very much so still coming through. Cyclone locking on. It's good to go after those Stalkers, and a couple of Stalkers begin to go down. Medevac around the bottom side. 8 Marines inside. Water turret actually going to go for the High Templar. It's going to be good. It just feels as though Kira is running away with this game. Good damage early. Obviously on the way to Storm, and Storm can survive from lower supply counts, but I feel like Kira's just been playing a very solid game and definitely making this difficult for JUMY to feel comfortable and to get set up in a comforting position at all so far. It's been tough, as that medevac will go down, so at least we defend the drop, and not before we lose a few more Stalkers apparently. Marines will chase in. Multiple Stalkers end up dropping. 3 of them go down. Zealots warp in. They will go after Marines. Now we stim in toward the 3rd base here, and Kira just going to spread, does eat some storms. Widow mines are good though, and man, there's just nothing left over. Can we get the panel before the warp in? Yes, we can. That means the 3rd base is likely to go down here, because that warp in is going to be so delayed at this stage. He's going to try and do it on the right-hand side instead. We warp in Stalkers instead of the Zealots this time though, which I feel like is honestly a little bit less scary. I think it's fair to say this one is a little bit too far gone. That is going to be a pure game looking good in his favor right now. And JUMY, I mean, for JUMY to get back in this, he's going to have to find a very good defense into continued defense from very low supply. Like I say, that's not easily done. Not impossible. Let's see if he can find some magic. Widow mines will burrow up. Do we have enough units to defend here already? I guess is the first kind of starting question. High ground. Widow mines, oh my god, we killed so many probes as well. Yeah, this is definitely looking worse and worse as we continue through. GG gets called. And that will be Kira taking the 2-0 here off of JUMY. JUMY, unfortunately, will fall to 0-2 on the group. Now we're going to have ByuN versus Creator coming up. Creator 1-0, ByuN 0-1. So yeah, let's hop over to Korea and get ByuN vs. Creator ready to rumble. Failed to log in, always a classic. Alright, I'll get the maps picked here and get this PvT ready to go. Again, ByuN trying to avoid going to 0-2 in the group. Creator can try and get to 2-0. If Creator wins this, then him and Q will play for first place and second place, and I guess ByuN JUMY just becomes like a $25 show match. I think it's $25 for third place. We didn't have a lot of funding for this event. Yeah, third place gets $25 group. Okay then. Okay. Torch is an incorporeal, getting Vito to start us off in this best of 3. 4 Vitos each. Yo, Ice Bear North, thank you so much for the 3-month resub as well. Thank you so much for returning and supporting. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. It's actually been a day full of subs. I really thought today was going to be super quiet on stream, but got a big donation on YouTube to start us off. We've had a bunch of subs coming through. It's been a pretty partying kind of day, hasn't it? It's been a lot of fun. More videos. Nearly there, guys. Yo, Dito, thank you so much as well for the 3-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Breakcast as usual. Thank you, thank you. I'm just waiting for a map pick here, and we'll be able to start hosting up into game 1 of this best of 3. Clear lines to open up with. I dropped the lobby link down and we should be in game in a minute then, guys. Perfect. Thank you again for a little bit of patience between games. Let's start momentarily. Waiting for Creator to join us in our lobby. Alright, that's Creator. And that should mean we are good to go. Nope, he says wait please. Alright, so we'll give him a moment. And then we will actually go. Give him a little bit of time. And kick this off. Perfect. Alright guys, like I said, just waiting for the players. Waiting for the players. Kyrus put himself in a good spot in this group. Creator looking to do the same. Like I say, they could be fighting over first or second place seeding in the next matchup. If Creator wins this one against ByuN, but that's not a given. Like I said, I do feel like ByuN's gone a little bit better in the TVP again lately, so maybe the meta trending in his favor a little bit. He's definitely looked a little bit better than he had been doing, so. Feeling it, I'm feeling it. Feeling it. As we'll take a moment or two and get this going momentarily. ByuN has been everyone. TVP recently, Max Axe Hero. Yeah, ByuN's been, like I say, he's been, I feel like for a while, he was really getting pushed around in TVP, and even when he got in good positions, he would just backtrack from that position and end up not winning. But I feel like his TVP's gone a lot better recently, so it's definitely been much improved. Much improved. Alright, still waiting for Creator, guys. Usually when someone says wait, it's a few seconds, a minute. I believe that has not been the case here. Taking a little bit longer than initial expectations had us believing, but we'll just continue to take a few and fire up into next game shortly. As soon as Creator's ready. ByuN just asked Creator if he died. Yes, ByuN, maybe that is the problem. Maybe Creator just straight up died. We just didn't realize. He really has just disappeared, so I'll give it a moment or two. And kick this off. Like I say, apologies for the delay, guys. Can't really do much of the players. Oh, not quite ready. I mean, you know, we could have them waiting to start videos or something, but instead they vetoed and then have had a BRB moment, so all good. Alright, Curious says sorry and go. Say go as well. Double check ByuN is good. Cool. Yo, Scorpion, thank you so much for the 8-month resub. Thanks for great content and fun chatting. No worries, thank you so much as well for the resub. Appreciate it. I'm gonna go in game here, guys, and get this kicked off. Onto ley lines. Just want to check something going game here quickly, guys. So excuse me for one moment while I click a couple of buttons. Okay. Just wanted to check something. As we get into this then, so in the top right hand side, in this best of 3, we'll have our red Protoss player to start us off. It is going to be Creator. Taking on the blue Terran in the bottom left-hand side, we've got ByuN. Best of 3, TVP, coming up and at you right now. As we get this series underway. Like I said, big one for both players. If Creator wins, he pretty much guarantees that he's through the group and ByuN is out. If ByuN wins, then himself and Creator are going to be tied 1-1. Q 2-0. Q still has to play Creator. ByuN has to play JUMY. A lot of important matchups remaining. Versus if, like I say, if Creator wins, it becomes kind of just seeding matchups. Who finishes first, who finishes second, and then who finishes third, who finishes fourth between ByuN and JUMY. So it is, like I say, this one is going to not just dictate. Well, this one pretty much dictates how the rest of the games go in terms of how much they matter / how important they are. And ByuN has been loving the proxy barracks on ley lines, the Marauders. Something he's been going into forward. Low ground gateway as well means that is going to be a little exposed initially. Probes checks down the right side. ByuN did exactly this against Hero in the WardiTV Mondays the other day. I think it was the Mondays event, right? And, yeah. Right, because it was exactly the same as well, right? Hero checked down the right side, but then he scouted across the map. Creator checks down the right, not the top, and he doesn't scout across the map, so he's going to have no idea this is on the way, and ByuN is off to the rampaging start. Now the probe is going to go scout the other direction. Now he's going to see the barracks and the tech labs. Now Creator knows just what ByuN is aiming to get up to here in this game. One of the best of three. ByuN actually not going to go second Marauder. He's going to go for Marine. And then cancels that and builds a tech lab. So maybe trying to get Creator to think that this is something slightly not from what it is. Want to boost on the Zealot. Continue to bring that out. Cluster Shell's not far away. Creator going to try and get to the Robo facility. The Immortal is typically a very important thing to get to in these scenarios, as he can begin to prep his defense now. Getting set up for the moment. So back and forth with that first Marauder. Obviously, extra Marauders on the way in. Their numbers will stack up very shortly here. And we'll see if ByuN can get to a point where he can break through this wall off of Creator. Like I say, with the extra batteries and a Robo coming up, I feel like this is going to get difficult for ByuN already. But let's see. As he puts up a bunker and he starts to pressure the gateway. And sees if he can force a reaction from Creator that is him overstepping his boundary. Well, Creator doesn't have his Stalkers, so he doesn't have a lot of damage output against the Marauders right now, because he's prioritized other units. That means a lot of his gas is available to get that Robo up quickly, and hence the build into that Immortal is speeding along. Robo's going to pull here now as ByuN will have to deal with those. The Immortal is Corona boosting. It's a few more shots on the pylon. Force field forces ByuN down towards the bottom instead. Batteries being kept low on NNG. Pylon going to get low, but I mean, at the very least, one Immortal gets out here, right? The pylon going down is a nice supply block that maybe affects you in the future as the barrier disappears on that Immortal immediately. Is that Immortal in trouble? I mean, Immortal's great against the Marauders, but the Marauders are going to get it. The probe pull is good, and it does add a lot of damage onto the Marauders as well. Now the second Immortal only just starting because we were supply blocked. That pylon going down was actually immediately effective. And Creator's going to say GG. He does not have a defense here. The Marauders are too good. And ByuN is going to steam ahead to a 1-0 lead in this best of 3. Game 2. Coming up. Our second map will be Elon. Get that straight underway then. Kind of weird because I feel like the Fast Immortal is meant to be good, but then it just wasn't. Some discussion about Proxy Rex Marauders in the chat. Go goes to the Creator. And ByuN. Game number 2 coming up as they are going back and forth quickly in Korean about that last game. Was it 2 or 3 barracks? 2 barracks. With Marauders, you don't need 3 barracks. You can't really afford 3 racks of production if you've got the Marauders, so it doesn't really make too much sense to commit in that situation. Alright, let's jump in. As we head into the top left side of the map, this is going to be the Blue Protoss player. Down a game quickly in this series, Creator. Against the Red Terran, bottom right, ByuN. Couple of best of 3s remaining after this one, guys. Again, thanks for joining us today for some WardiTV June action. Again, we moved Group A to next week. We will be trying our best to get players sorted out for that, so I'll have updates whenever we can. Again, I'm not here tomorrow or Sunday, but I will be here Monday for WardiTV Mondays, so I'll see you for that. Hell yeah. Barracks in the top, double gas coming in straight away. Okay, and the assimilator continuing up. Wouldn't a Stalker be okay there so you can damage the Marauders back? Yeah, it's kind of an interesting one. If you build a Zealot and an Adept, they don't die as quickly to the Marauders, but they also don't do as much damage to the Marauders either. So I thought he was kind of going into those and the Sentry to kind of buy time for the Immortal and to get the Immortal up quickly with the Robo and the Stalker not costing gas. But, I mean, yeah, I think you got to just get Stalkers up, and obviously Stalkers didn't survive the first couple of Marauders because of the batteries. So I think that is kind of, to me, I think that's kind of what you have to kind of aim for all the time, to be honest. But, I mean, this is a bit of a different defense than what I've seen before, so I was not sure where Korea was trying to go with it. Yeah, I think maybe as well just keep the Immortal behind probes a little bit more. Make it really difficult for the Marauders to get, like, all Marauders should not be able to hit the Immortal every time if probe is zoned properly. And I think that's what it kind of comes down to. It's kind of rough when you wall the low ground as well as Creator, though, because then ByuN can just fight low ground to... doesn't have to fight low ground to high ground. It's not like Creator has an expansion, right? So it's not like, you know, ByuN is basically getting a low ground fight, and Creator's getting no benefit from being on the low ground. It's just a more awkward position to defend. The probes are further away as well, because they have to come all the way from the main base, so... just in general, like, it was kind of a weird one for Creator to kind of play from. And he's sort of a little bit late. I don't know how much that really affects it. Like I say, this is still a build which I think we're figuring out a lot of the correct responses to, the correct answers to, etc., etc. All that kind of fun stuff as well. Thank you, by the way, Tag Team, at the resub, right when we're in the midst of the action there in that previous game with the 60 months, 5 years, and all of the facts about 60, such as it being the 4th superior, highly composite number, the 4th colossally abundant number, and a unitary perfect number. The smallest is the smallest number divisible by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and the smallest group that is not solvable is the alternating group A5, which has 60 elements. I mean, honestly, these numbers get crazier and crazier every time. We're getting words that I've never thought we'd hear being used in reference to numbers. It's crazy. Crazy. Cyclone. Going to be coming across. Marine's going to get the Adept. Adept continues to shade around, and the Phoenix and the Wolfgate continue to come up. Cyclone and Marines will gather back toward the natural, and the Adept continues into the upper right side as well. Open the gate still coming up. And get that underway. Well, those Adepts gonna go shading across. So we do have our Cyclones already on the map, and another Cyclone building. So very Cyclone heavy here from ByuN early. There's a Stargate opener, so a lot of Cyclones very good against those Stargate units. It's 3 Phoenix out. Locks onto both of them here, has the range because of the medevac providing vision. Those Phoenix are kind of beat up a little. They are going to drain a lot of battery energy already, just being healed back up, and that means less battery energy for the rest of this fight. That's the benefit of kind of getting your catches early here as ByuN gets a couple of units already. Battery out of energy. Pylon is huge. If you get rid of the Pylon, you're going to knock down the producing Immortal, right? So that would be massive as well. As we actually kill off Phoenix, I think it's right not to go for the Pylon because he's just getting value on the army anyway. And they've all showing up may defend this, but it's not going to be a complete defense. It's particularly good against the Cyclones, yes, but against the Marines it doesn't do too great. Now that Pylon goes down, and I think Creator's in a ton of trouble as we get the Cyclone lock-ons that are necessary to get damage out on this. GG gets called, and just like that, ByuN is going to storm through this series. Fastest series of the day so far. ByuN leaving no prisoner. And he is going to keep this group interesting because now him and Creator will both sit at 1-1. And so the next matches actually become very important to see who ends up advancing forward into the round of 8. Exciting stuff, and that will start off with Cure in a couple of moments. So let me find Cure. He's hopping over already, never mind. Nice. What do you think, guys? talk numbers to you. 7, 9, 13, 174, 2,354,791, 6, 113. I don't know what talking numbers really means, but there you go. I hope that did something for you. Alright, we will get Cure Creator on the way here in a moment, guys. There is a weird one where, say, Creator loses to Cure, ByuN loses to JUMY. There is a world where there's a three-way tiebreaker as well. Now, the map scores are a little bit different because ByuN took a map off Cure, and everyone else has been a 2-0 so far, so it might not be like a tiebreaker that needs like a tiebreaker game played, but potential that it comes down to maps and that anyone could still advance as well, basically. So, now we'll see how this Creator Cure series goes. Well, this is a family-friendly stream. What's with the numbers? What's not family-friendly about numbers? You guys want to sit down with your families and do the numbers? Shouldn't be so afraid of math, guys. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. It'll be okay. And thanks for joining us, guys. I know there's another big tournament going on right now, but I just had to stream something. I felt really weird. Like it was gonna be like 2 weeks without a stream, basically, if I didn't stream a day. So had to come in and do a little bit of something. The videos will start up. Do. Doesn't hurt, but you know what does hurt? Physics. Physics hurts. Oh, that's clever. You guys are funny. It's a good thing that we got you guys to make the jokes instead of me. But I'm not quite a jokester. Not on your guys' level, at least. Persephone going to be videoed alongside Incorporeal and Pylon. Kira and JUMY winning is also a three-way tie. Yes. Is that not the three-way tie we thought about before? Oh, if Creator beats Kira and ByuN beats JUMY, there's a three-way tie? Oh, there's a three-way tie on both ways. Oh my goodness. It's one of those ones. It's funny. Alright. We have got all the videos from Kyo, one more video from Creator, a map pick from Kyo, and we'll get into our 5th out of 6 series today, guys. And thanks for a little bit of patience just as the player's video. You guys know it takes a few moments. I'm eager to get us in game, I promise you that much. Promise you that much. Ley lines. Second map torches. Perfect. Sneak Creator to be ready, and we're going to be good to go. What's up, Growlung? Thanks so much for the 16-month resub on the Prime. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to fix this. I think my monitoring works again, so I can actually hear dings for the subs. Alright, players are ready. Let's jump into this TVP, guys. Game number 1 of our 5th series today. Again, thank you for all the primes and so on today, guys. It's been a prime full day here on the stream. Appreciate it. Why is it causes Carson not participating today. Carson is in Bulgaria playing in the Bellum Gens Elite event. So he's not about today. Fear not. Everyone will be back home next week. We'll get everyone ready to play some games. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. As in the bottom left-hand side, we're going to start off with the red Terran player representing Team Liquid. This is Cure. The win for him guarantees him first place at 3-0, so could definitely simplify this group with that result. Top right, have ourselves the blue Protoss player, Creator. JUMY is out and can't advance. Oof. Yeah, map score just too bad, so even if it comes to the tiebreaker, it doesn't make a difference. It's very possible, yeah. Those things do happen. He can still get third place though, right? And that's a prize money difference, if nothing else, so at least something to play for in the final match. That's why we make sure there's a difference between third and fourth place in round robin groups for prize money. Means that you definitely... It's very rare that you play your final match and there's no chance you can't even get third place. So it just helps to alleviate some of the pointless matches. I like doing the round robin. It gives us an extra series. An extra series means a little bit more of a properly kind of fitting length of stream compared to what you might get otherwise. No proxy marauders on ley lines this time around, so already something a little bit different for us here compared to the previous series, as Kua will not proxy it up, despite being the kind of guy that actually proxies a lot of the time. Rope going about. Again, Adept in the Wolf Gate continue to come through. The CC coming about. Reaper hopping up. Adept is going to be there to help play defense against that Reaper for the next little while. And Twilight Count's coming through. Commencing and coming up and online. We continue to bring that into play for the moment. We're still chilling on the top then. Cyclone, a couple of Marines gathering up together. We have our Warp Gate and the Stalker building through. Having that up and running. Ends up coming around, just going to shade up over there. A couple of gates coming through as we settle ourselves in to position for a couple of moments. A blink on the way through, that warp gate coming online. There's a couple of gateways coming up as well. Cyclone still locking on. The Adept will continue to chase. Stalker and the Adept together, going to go after the Cyclone. That will go down, gets picked off immediately. And that Adept going to be shading about. A few Marines in the center going to gather around as well. We will have... But Stalker looking for the Marines, trying to reach across for a couple of moments. Banshee on the way from Q. Definitely some opportunity there as Creator gets his blink done. Has that third Nexus on the way up as well. Court gates coming through, the charge coming up on the Twilight Councils. We bring that online straight into just more tech then. As Creator gonna play kind of gateway heavy initially, no splash damage coming up just yet. So we're gonna shoot, a couple Marines taking damage. Definitely going to shade forward. Tank going to be there. Stalkers get turned away. Again, just going to see our charge and the Temple Archives continue to build on in. That Raven coming up. The Stim and the +1 coming by as well. Just going to see the Prism, Temple Archives. I mean, heading toward the Storm, I imagine, is going to be the plan. It's not too surprising. Temple Archives about to complete the Prism, halfway done. Let's see us get into that Storm here. This is all just warping in. Observer up to the top. Banshee going to be hanging around. The Observer sees that, so should be able to nullify any potential with that Banshee over the next little bit. Stim combat and +1 all still coming through. The Raven and dropping down in order turret. A couple of probes beginning to drop. The pylon coming in. And the Storm is bringing its way into play. It's just going to be seeing the Stim and combat shield still coming through. The Marauders coming online. Storm is halfway done. The Zealots are coming about. The Marines are going to stim forward as well. Stalkers having to back away here currently. Rest of the Bio coming out too. And combat shield and the +1 attack finishing up very shortly. And again, Conquest of Shells is going to be about halfway. As the Marauders and Barracks and everything else continues up for the moment. Those extra Barracks finishing up very shortly. Storm finishes. Predator is looking to spread and potentially... Do you want to attack into this? The Terran defensive position is pretty decent, but the supply is there for Creator, and Zealots aren't going to care much about those tanks. So Storm's the zone. There's potential here right now that Creator could get in and do some magic, so let's see what he can make happen. He's going to pop Guardian Shield. He's going to come from two sides, the left and the right. Storm initially is good, forces a lot of the Marines back. Marines aren't pulling back, they're actually eating those Storms, and that's pretty painful so far. High Templar loading back into the Prism as well, keep them safe. Moved a couple into the Archon, but man, Creator just comes absolutely blasting forward, and Creator is going to go very, very much so high up on supply. Can he actually just chase down Kier for the win right now? Because Kier's going to start hiding in his natural. Hiding away there is going to make things a lot tougher for Creator to kind of jump on that army and to kind of finish things off. Army supplies are getting to be quite similar right now, so Creator's just got to pick his fight carefully. He's going to go forward. Oh, nice Storm. Everything was clumped. That's the sort of Storm you're looking for. I think we're kind of out of energy on the High Templar now. It was just that one High Templar, and it was not on a lot of energy when it first jumped into the Prism, so I imagine that is going to be not useful again for the moment. We did eat some EMPs as well, so we might want to give time for things to regen some energy. Finish off some SCVs in this corner and the refinery. $17 SCVs. All going down. So let's see the Undermine taking damage. That's going to show up. A couple SCVs going down. Stalkers want to go after the Viking, the rest of the Bio there. And the Zealots pull back. The Archon going to be Pulling back a little bit as well, just trying to stay out of there. Another storm coming through, Marauder and the Ghost taking damage right off of that. I mean, Kratos up 60 supply now, and I don't think Kira is finding some miraculous fight out of this deficit. It looks as though Kratos is going to be good for Game 1 victory, and going to take the reins in this series. And what's pretty much a must-win for him to advance. There's a very good chance if he loses this, he is just going to be out. Tiebreaker situation would not be guaranteed for him, right? So, yeah, important match for Creator is he struggled with a lot of the early aggression of ByuN, but he stepped into this match against Cure and got to a mid-game, and, well, barely got to a mid-game before he started launching aggression around, but he got to where he needed to be to actually play the game a little bit, and look at that, it goes well for him from there. Uses Cure. Creator takes game number 1. Comfortable opening game from Creator, like I say. Good starting position, and is now going to be, like I say, challenging to get out of this group with a W. Alright, let's see if he can keep it up then going into our second map, Torches. We know Cure is very good though, so it's definitely a bounce back opportunity for Cure coming up as well, I'm sure. Creator in position. Get him to swap to Protoss and we can go. Perfect. Set up for the DVP then. Let's get it going. There's no tie ending in this group. Yeah, I think because the scores have been different. As long as we have a kind of a mixture of 2-0s and 2-1s, it's usually very difficult for tiebreakers to not be broken by the map score. It's a nice feature of brackets that just kind of naturally happens. I'm a big fan. The days where you get the 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0 groups, and then you have like a 3-way tiebreaker. It's like, well, the only way you break this is to play more games. And you have to get the players back, or you have to discuss another time for them to play, and comes the whole thing. Then they look at you like, Wardy, why are we playing round robin in the first place? This is stupid. And I'm like, well, it gives us an extra series. You know. Start doing some explaining. Any predictions for Star as a Agora winner, or who will qualify for EWC? No. I don't even know what's happening in that tournament right now. I've not had a chance to catch up on it at all. Honestly, I feel like the winner of any tournament right now is just going to be Clem. Like, obviously, take out players who aren't there. So I know Hero's not there, but like Clem, Cyril, Hero. I think are the 3 players who are absolutely at the top of their games right now. And then, who will qualify for EWC? I mean, I'd guess if I had to pick out of everyone not qualified, I'd say Showtime, but isn't that tournament like best of 3 and it didn't even have seeding? So the bracket's probably going to screw out a couple of people, and then best of 3 could go any which way. It's kind of wild that you know, the qualifiers had like best of 7 qualifying matches. Meanwhile, some lower bracket round 3 of like Star as Agora best of 3 is going to be like a basically just as important qualifying matchup. It's yeah, it's kind of a little bit crazy. I don't love the qualifying format this year, but it's not like we can really do much about it, so. Isn't there best of 1 in the lower bracket? Sure not. There's no way they fly people out to a live event and they do a best of 1 lower bracket. I can't imagine that's true. So yeah. If it is, that's just really crazy. Yeah, I was reading, someone was asking about how the seeding worked, and apparently the seeding worked by the top 8 players just got to pick randomly out of the selection of other players, which is extremely flawed, even with the double elimination bracket, because the way double elim brackets work, is usually when you first drop down, you end up playing against the player who lost in the series of who you would play against the winner of, right? So, like, it's very possible that the 4 strongest players out of the final 8 all end up on the same side of the bracket, and that doesn't get solved by a lower bracket. So you can create some really nasty matchups very quickly. So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I would almost rather, like, because obviously, I don't know how the tournament's playing, I have not looked, but I would almost rather they take the top. I mean, like, I honestly, it just seems weird that they're based. Someone's probably going to make play a best of 3 qualifying match to EWC. It should just be best of 5. I don't know what they're doing. But best of 5s are fun anyway. Flying people out for double best of 3 is kind of sucky. I don't know. I just think, like, I think honestly what it should come down to is, like, if someone doesn't win the spot by winning the tournament, or there should be some rule, like, if top 4 are all already qualified, they just make another qualifier or something. Honestly, it would be a better situation, because, like, the fact Star Zagora was, like, a qualifying spot in the first place after qualifiers had already happened for the event and stuff was kind of crazy, you know? That lower bracket was best of 3 as well. Yeah. These guys need to hire Wardy for some proper tournament formatting. I'm gonna show up and gonna be like, look at this genius move. Best of 5s for important matches. What? No way. I'd want to spot the global qualifier. It doesn't work like that though, because the global qualifier doesn't qualify you into the global qualifier doesn't qualify you to the same place as the direct seeds. The global qualifier, the 4 players from there go and play a 4-player tournament in Riyadh, and the 2 players from that then advance into the main tournament. So you can't really just add an extra slot to the global qualifier. What you could do is you could play the global qualifier, and the first place of the global qualifier qualifies into the EWC directly, and then you have, like, some extra bracket or something that makes sense, and then you still get 4 other players from the global qualifier. That could be good. That could be good. I think that would be reasonable. Yeah, I think that might be that might have been a better solution. I mean, because there's also going to be the GSL spot as well. That could potentially go down to, like, someone who lost in group stage or something. Like, it's kind of crazy, but the round of 8 of GSL, there is a possibility, right, where finishing 3rd place in your round of 8 at GSL could get you to EWC. So, like, the elimination match of a GSL group could be, like, the EWC qualifier match, but you also don't know until day 2 of the GSL round of 8 groups play. Like, it's just getting a bit silly, you know? Yeah, unfortunately, honestly, the format is good, the qualifying process is good, just not when it's so condensed and there's no time for, like, other things to be put in place when, like, double ups happen and stuff. So, yeah, it's a little unlucky, to be honest. It's a little unlucky. It's just honestly, like, everything got condensed down into, like, 2 months. If everything was set in stone ahead of time, we could have had a lot more cooler events, I imagine. But, like I say, such is the way of things. Storm coming up. Stem Combat +1 coming online. We bring that all through for the moment. Moving around the back. It's so rushed out. Yeah, not like these WardiTV tournaments. I definitely invite my players to the tournaments more than 1 day before they play. Yeah, it's just rough that it's all in, like, a month. Like, it's crazy that we went from Dallas to qualifier weekend to Star Zagora to GSL to global qualifiers. Back to back to back to back weeks. And then I guess the other GSL was just before that as well. You know what I mean? Like, it's been a hectic, busy couple of few weeks for sure. So yeah. +1, the Immortal coming up right now. Robobay coming through as we have the Bioforce getting out over there. There's going to be seeing the attack upgrade, the concussive shells all coming through. She'll pop in here as the storm comes down. Creator, I'm going to eat a Wooden Mine shot in the Zels, which isn't pretty. Ugh. It's always rough losing some of your initial units.
Game
as lag, says Creator, so we'll just take a moment here, hopefully get that resolved. Hopefully just a moment. Passing blip in the internets. Hopefully nothing long lasting.
Game resumed.
There's a storm. Oh yeah, I saw Roddy's story yesterday with the rain. That's kind of, yeah. That's kind of crazy that just like in an outside place, it's just like, there's a storm. Do they have any backup plan for it storming? Like, do they have like a cover they can put over or something? Or that's kind of wild, no? Or just storm so infrequently that they just presumed it was going to be fine. It's crazy. Couple storms coming down. Wooden Mine's going to get caught in that. Zealot Stalker ready to push up. Another storm coming through. The booth and temp isn't at the stage is covered, and the crowd is just screwed. Oh my god. It's definitely a process. Yeah. Kira has a bit of a push coming in. The storm's doing good to kind of hold him back a little bit, but we don't have endless storms. The Tempers have to be careful trying to pick their shots and pick their moments as... Oh, we're going to go! Creator blings a couple Stalkers in. Wooden Mines are going to come through on some of the Zealots off to the side. Cleans out some of the tanks. That Archon down the left side was just out of position. Gets the storm now. I mean, a lot of this bio is low. If we can kind of find a fight right now, I actually don't hate it for Creator because these low HP bio units are just going to melt away, especially if the Colossus gets to laser beam them once or twice. Yeah, Creator's actually going to be able to get a chase down here, and I mean, can Kira find the moment to just turn around and jump into this? Oh, the Healing Shrine! Okay, now I can't actually create a B here anymore. The Healing Shrine's kind of huge. It really did heal things up super quickly. Storm was good. The Colossus honestly are good still as well. Stalker's still pushing, and I think Creator actually still has a fight that's favoring him. Now we're fighting in the healing zone, though. The bio units actually get to live a little bit longer. The couple Colossus lasering some Marines still. These Marauders camping the Healing Shrine as they kind of need to. Can we break through onto these Colossus? Some Zealots show up, but the EMPs are around as well. The Zealots are going to zone the Marauders back up the left side. Colossus are going to recall, and one of them gets home. The other one dies. Wow. That was kind of huge, though, from Kira. Like, if he didn't have the Healing Shrine, he dies. Like, his army's gone. That Healing Shrine saved his ass a couple times over in the same engagements. That's pretty crazy. And so we'll knock down that pylon there. The bio still coming through. Problem for Creator is you lose a lot of your tech during that, right? One Colossus went down, a lot of your Stormy Boys went down. That's an expensive rebuild, and that's the kind of thing that is not easy to get back to. He's got no High Templar in the game right now. Are you loving this with no High Templar in the game? I'm going to say no. I think he needs the Storms. I think the Storm is a major part of his success in these games. Healing Shrine extra OP, it can heal our units, yeah. It's not very often. I think it's honestly one of the first times I've seen the Healing Shrine truly used on torches. I think we cast in the qualifier the other day, got used a little bit. It's funny because this map kind of a lot of the time happens on the right-hand side, a lot of the gameplay. And obviously the Healing Shrine is right to the far left, but the way they're expanding right now means the Healing Shrine in the center on the left side is going to be potentially a big deal, especially as you've got that base coming up in the forward left position from Creator, kind of expanding toward the Healing Shrine. Fascinating stuff. Upgrades continuing through. Upgrades are good right now, by the way, from Creator. 2-1, heading into 3-2. Oh, Wooden Mine hits the Prism, which is Frustrating bringing that low, but hey, Healing Shrine, go heal it up. It heals air units. I didn't realize the opportunity he had there. Yeah, he could have healed the Prism right back up to HP. Stalker's going to get a couple Widow Mines for that activity on the map, so a little bit of a benefit there as the Bio is lurking with Medivacs and potential drop play available for now. So I've got that Marauder coming up, 2-2 upgrades, ship weapons as well. The Bio Army, the Ghost, the Medivac still gathering up, and we have ourselves the Refinery setting up also. Shadow Stride coming through, +3 attack coming online, +2 armor on the way. Single Marine putting some work in. A few SCVs go down as the Storm Drop finally comes through. No, the Prism probably wouldn't have survived on better HP, to be honest, so Healing Shrine wouldn't have mattered. Just that was a bad rally of the Prism after anyway. There's just one High Templar at least. Don't understand how Protoss can expand so much faster than Terran. Because the way that Protoss works now is you're playing the less efficient army composition a lot of the time. And look at the resources lost. You can see Creator's lost way more resources than Cure has. And so you kind of need to expand more quickly. And a lot of what Protoss do is they kind of expand quickly off of a lot of spammy gateway units. You know, they're not... You know, you look at this army composition of Creator in this game, and it's 20 Zealots, and then a few Colossus and a few High Templar. You know, and yes, those Colossus and High Templar are powerful, but everything else is very spammy and cheap. And so you're kind of setting up in a way that you can afford to just throw down expand after expand. You have a lot of probes mining all the time. That gives you the setup opportunity for that as well. It's just how the matchup and the meta is developed here. It's Terrans can't really do the same because they need to stop and actually build up something that can fight against some of the tech units of Protoss. But by doing that, they trade much more effectively, so they don't need to expand as quickly either. They don't need to take those risks of expanding and overextending. This fight's been lingering for a few moments here as Creator. Look as though he had a little bit of a jump on it. Gonna have to run away now. Stalker's blinking back. Would have loved them to try and get rid of some more of these Vikings because the Colossus are just melting. And now this is going to be a horrible army. This is mass zealot against Bio. There's not enough splash damage, and the splash damage that was there got nullified very quickly. We do drop one Storm. We have another. That's not going to be it. That was a little bit of a panic storm. Just hot fingers pulling the trigger a little bit too soon, and that Storm does not do anything. And now Cure going to find a Disruptor rallying back in. These units are going to recall away. This base will go down. Creator will try and re-establish control elsewhere, but this is truly not looking too great for him at the moment. Watch the Disruptor. The thing is, you killed a bunch of the Disruptors too, so you know there's not a lot of them. So I actually think you could be a bit more aggressive and kind of poising the idea of, hey, I might attack into you. Because like I say, we know that Creator doesn't have a lot of splash left. We just wiped it all off the map. So I think with that info, maybe Q could be a bit more aggressive than he is being. That said, it's always scary to attack into a Protoss who has those Disruptors and warp in a ton of Zealots at any point in time as well. And if you start having a slightly wrong composition against Zealots, then you're going to regret having, tried to attack in, and then you don't have a lot of, maybe you get chased down in the end as well. Going for a catch here is, Creator. I was going to say, I kind of like the Prism, had the opportunity to drop some good Storms off. This army was not ready to fight, so it's very clumped up from Cure. I think Creator actually missed his chance. He did not find the main clump of the Bio with the High Templar. Those Liberators coming out are a huge switch. They're going to help a lot as DTs and Zealots and Stalkers and Colossus all attacking into this position right here. We do knock down those initial Liberators. Cure on the run. Going to try and escape back up through that gold choke point. Disruptor. Oh my god, what a Disruptor shot! Great attention by Creator, recognizing the opportunity just to Disruptor up into that gap. And Cure's getaway plan of, hey, you can't chase through here, is punished by the fact that it's slow to move through that choke point in the first place. So there you go, a benefit is found. As the Bio will regather. Stalk's coming up. I like a couple DTs in the army as well, just high damage output units that are going to constantly force scans. And even just scanning doesn't necessarily mean you're going to knock it down. Right side base of Creator goes down, but he's going to try and bust down this base of Cure. The SCVs go down. They should not be too difficult of an affair. Actually, a lot of Libs will go down here as well in the attempted defense. So Stalkers doing their job. Kira will return home, but again, lost a base himself. Right, is he just going to keep going? Is he confident enough to keep pressing the issue right now? It seems like he is. Liberator siege there, but that doesn't stop him from maybe just running up towards some of the other bases and knocking those down. Right, and just chasing down SCVs and so on, knocking down orbitals. A lot of potential here, and we should just send the DTs at the very least to the upper left-hand corner. Ooh, Colossus middle of the map going to get found, unfortunately. Again, just got to be careful. Step away from those libs. I don't think we've got recall. I think that should be on cooldown. So it's a little scary because you're getting trapped in the upper left-hand side right now as creator. Do we have recall? Oh, no, we do. It's back. My last fight was longer ago than I thought. Ooh, but we let the Colossus kind of be in the front. They're taking a bunch of damage. We need to keep those alive. The Prism has units inside that are not Colossus, and so he can't lift any of the Colossus into the Prism. Finally, he gets one away there. 34 SCVs going down. We knocked down this base. Recall is going to be good for the majority of these units. A couple of units get left behind, whatever. Doesn't really matter. A few Stalkers are replaceable as Kira is down to 25 workers. Creator needs to warp in High Templars. He needs to make Disruptors, I feel like. Anything that stops Kira just bum rushing him, right? Like, if you can just stop Kira from just running into your bases, you are golden. You are up so many workers, triple the economy and more. You just need to defend. Anything that does that for you is a win right now. I do not know if Creator wants to really be out on the map. Like, sometimes catching the army out on the map is good. Right now, I feel like it's more likely going to give you a bit of a weird spot than benefit you. I think that was an accidental EMP instead of the Mule. Mule instead of the EMP coming down into the army. As, I think Kira's saying sorry. Yeah, I think that was obviously not meant to be a Mule dropping in as the players have resumed back on track. Kira's army is very good, but it must win the game with that army. Like, Creator needs to stop attacking into it. Like, you're giving Kira... The thing is, it's scary for Creator because he sees the Liberator count, and he's like, oh god. Like, if that continues, surely I need to stop him from getting set up and so on. But I think as long as he doesn't attack in and he just sort of, like, positions around, I think that's fine. Like, if he just postures so these units can't walk across the map and siege up his bases, that's okay. To me, I think that's all Creator really needs to achieve right now. As yo, Hopper Kabul, thank you so much for the 51-month resub on the Prime. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for resubbing and priming us up today. Here's going to make a dive down over here. This is what I think Creator kind of have to stop happening, but obviously it's weird because the right side of the map is very exposed. Honestly, maybe Creator just gives up this base. I don't attack into the lib zones. Just play about with disruptor shots and storms and just kind of chip away at the army, because again, Kira is not rebuilding things anywhere near as quickly as what Creator can rebuild. So as Creator, you don't want one straight up fight. You want to chip. You want to pull that army down a bit. Like, give up this base. You've got bases coming online elsewhere. Get rid of some medevacs. Drop another storm as he retreats. Like, as long as you keep playing like this as Creator, you are maintaining the position in this game. That is good for you to get the W in the end. So, good job by Creator. A couple more liberation zones are going to set up across the center again. Just going to find a Viking or two of the Stalkers. Again, trades like this are fine. You see some Stalkers dropping, they're not cheap to replace. You're on 70 probes to 30 SCVs. And you've had, you know, orbitals burned, so it's not like there's a crazy mule count in the game either. Oh, that's going to be an interesting one, because now it's going to be Creator's opportunity to kind of be in a bit attacking position. Kira has to play defense, and again, you're just keeping this Protoss, this Terran army kind of back at home. You're making some pickoffs, so he's not closing in on maxing out or anything of the sort. It's obviously a big win as well. The Lib's going to see Job. Going to lose the Prism. He did get a High Templar out and stormed with it at the very least, but again, just kind of an unnecessary loss because we're just pushing into pre-siege Liberators. That just doesn't need to happen at all. Another Disruptor shot will fire from afar, trying to find a connection here. Yeah, we're mining a gold base as well. I mean, Creator really has his position very well set up. He's got a lot of money. I can understand his want to try and fight as well. He's actually going to find a lot of units here. This time the Liberators are not sieged, and that is the golden ticket to go. That is the one thing that absolutely does make this much more engageable. Stalkers can jump through them Liberator zones. They do not need to be in the Lib zone. Surely we have a blink, no? Oh my god. I don't think it's going to matter. Well, it might matter still, honestly. Creator, that was ugly. I'm not going to lie. He just stood in the Lib zones. I thought he could blink through and target some stuff down. He's going to lose everything on the recall attempt. Oh my goodness. He did reset the lib count, right? Yeah, no libs left in the game. It's just a handful of ByuNs. I think Creator's Army should still be good enough now. But man, like, he just stood in those Liberator zones, huh? Storm, good little softening act. Another one as well. And honestly, we have enough money to just warp in en masse and win this out, I still think, for Creator. But Jesus, it was not the pretty fight that you were kind of, you know, maybe expecting to see out of him. He was so patient, and I get it. He saw the opportunity, but that doesn't mean you can just ignore what the setup that kind of follows that. As Creator is in the end going to push this army of Cure away and look to wrap up game number 2. Honestly, a pretty hectic series because Creator had a tough time winning both these games. GG gets called and Cure will finish 2-1. Creator will finish 2-1. And now ByuN 1-1 looks to also finish 2-1, which obviously makes this next series kind of interesting. So ByuN JUMY coming up to round out the day here in the WardiTV June Group B. We'll get into that in just a few moments' time. Alright, let me run ads, guys, and we will get ready for JUMY ByuN to round the day out. So what does that put us in terms of the group? So, so it's as simple as this. Because ByuN and Cure are on the same map score, if ByuN beats JUMY, he advances and Cure is out! Oh my god, that's crazy. Because ByuN and Cure are on the same map score, so no matter what, if ByuN just wins, doesn't matter what map score, if ByuN just wins, he's through and Cure is out. If JUMY wins, Cure advances. Oh my goodness. Because Cure dropped a map to ByuN and did not take a map off Creator. And ByuN 2-0'd in his series and obviously took a map in the series he lost, so he's got the better map score going into this, to the point where, like I say, all he needs is a win. So we'll get that set up and ready to go. Alright, ByuN has server preference as well for this as well. I did the coin flips before we started today, so he already has the server preference. We'll see if he can get the win he needs in this best of 3 to take down JUMY and to advance out of this group and into the round of 8. Hell yeah, let's go, ByuN. Let's see what we got. See what we got. I will get ready for this last match of the day, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I honestly can't believe we have so many viewers, to be honest. We've had like 300 plus on YouTube, 700-ish on Twitch at points. That's kind of crazy. We hit 1K viewers across streams when there's bigger events going on. It really is quite baffling to me. Like this really does shock me, to say the least. Alright guys, just waiting for some videos. Not ready to rumble. Leylands, Incorporeal, Ultra Love. That ready to roll. Like I say, a couple more videos and we are going to be into our games. And yeah, just one more time. I know I'm repeating myself a lot, just to make sure people know I'm not here Saturday, Sunday. But I will be here Monday for WardiTV Mondays again, so giving you guys the heads up. Leylands, Incorporeal, Ultra Love, Magnatha, Pylon, and Last Fantasy. First map, Pepperoni. Not heard of that one, but I think it might be Persephone. It's hosted. Alrighty. Hi, ready says ByuN, ready says JUMY. Let's do it, guys. No reason to delay. Let's get into the games. Last best of 3 of the day. Kick this off. Let's see what ByuN and JUMY are going to bring us in this TVP. So we kick this off. We get this going. Get right on into it. Going to start off in the bottom left-hand corner with the red town player. Just needs a win in this series to get through to the playoffs. He is ByuN. And the top left just looking to maybe try and scrap a third place finish for some prize money. It is JUMY, who is unfortunately otherwise eliminated. Doesn't matter if he wins the series or not in that regard, but like I say, a third place in the group can still be some prize money for him, so hopefully still find some reason to commit. I actually don't know if he can. This might be one of those scenarios where he can't get out of fourth place no matter what. But if nothing else, you get a good opportunity to play against ByuN in a competitive series. It's a learning lesson, you know. This is always the question mark, right? Or not necessarily the question mark, but this is always the opportunity that you kind of get to play for, right? Where, you know, it's like, okay, I get to actually play in a series where it matters for us both. It's good practice. That's the kind of thing where, you know, you take those chances. That's why a lot of players still play these tournaments as well. That practice and tournament, you know, tournament setting kind of practice goes a long way, so. Remember that series JUMY played against ByuN in the TLMC earlier this year? That was the deciding series whether he would make it to the playoffs or not. He was so close. It was a hell of a game. Just couldn't quite make it happen after winning the game 1 on Sandworm. It was a super crazy series. That was honestly one of the best games I've seen JUMY play. Came out of game 1, he was like, I need a break. I'm like literally shaking right now. It was very exciting. Alright, next is Cybercore, similar, coming through the Reaper, Orbital, and Factory, coming online as well. We got a lot of that online and ready to set up. Nexus will finish, Sentry on the way, have the Reaper on the Factory. Continue to come about as the Reaper gets to the upper left-hand side. Try to see what's going on. And it goes down, a few probes going to get buffed around. Sentry wants to go after the Reaper for a couple of moments, trying to find a little bit of something. Top coming about, CC on the way. Look at that warp gate coming through. Just after the Stalker and the probe. Coming online, gateway and the battery coming up as well. They're gonna go after those couple of Reapers. And obviously the Reaper's going to get in, so ByuN going to try and find some damage here with these. Trying to get through for a little bit of value. 2 probes going down, 3 probes going down. It's not bad, right? 3 workers early. Definitely not bad at all, as the Hellion gets in as well and forces a lot more lost mining time, so if nothing else, that definitely adds up. That lost mining time is not fun to have against you, so yeah, that is not the ideal situation, to say the least. Okay, we're going to finish up. Twilight Council's still going to be right there, ready to help out and get that upgrade on the go. Get that started up. Just going to have ourselves the charge building as we speak as well. So again, just a little bit of everything coming through for the moment. Let's settle down. And JUMY going to try and get himself into a nice strong position for the early stages. Let's set up and see what he can do. Well, medevac is coming in. Marines in the Cyclone. I mean, the medevac takes a lot of damage, but we are going to have to pull probes to not die to this, so it's going to be the chance to get quite a few worker kills. We're going to get 3 at the very end. Got a little bit of a unit trade out as well, I suppose, which helps you kind of justify the commitment. You can see the medevac boosting up. Gonna have a Hellion inside. Stalker's still gonna be there. Probe's gonna pull around. Hellion is gonna take a chance to do a couple of clicks. I'm just gonna be seeing the units getting the cleanup. And Stimmen +1 coming through. The Marine coming about. Gonna have our charge finishing very shortly as we just have the the scout on the proxies. Howdy. With some very well placed eyes as well. I love it. Alright, well, some fun being had as ByuN figures out just how aggressive JUMY is being as gateways continue to pile on in and there's 2 phase of commitment. Well, there's a 3rd Nexus, but I don't know how much we're really going to use it, right? With 38 probes, 39 probes. This is really going to be about this attack as we set up for that right now. Well, ByuN's defense ready as the Stim Combat and +1 continues to come into place right here. Like I say, JUMY setting up as we just have the, I mean, the defense looks good. It's a wall off. The tanks are in place. If we get to Stim, then that's obviously huge. ByuN scanning the natural just checks there's no gases coming down, so there's no transition into other tech coming through at all. And definitely putting himself in a position where he is going to be feeling good about this. Definitely feels as though ByuN is, yeah, not far from seeing himself a chance to defend for victory in this opening game against JUMY. Let's see if he can get the good defensive position to actually follow through and do what he needs it to. +1, Bio, all coming about. Just going to see the upgrades coming through still. Just going to have ourselves the Stalkers. Non-existent because it's purely Zealots. The Zealots is what I meant to say, and they are running away and backing up from this position right now. It's just getting out of there. I will load up a few more units. Think on the way. Armor upgrade going through. The medevacs here actually do catch a couple of the Stalkers that are in the game. Just going to knock those down. Think about a finish. Again, armor coming by. A couple Stalkers coming up as well. I'm just going to see the Bio still pulling back around to that left-hand side. Concussive shells coming through. I see a couple of those Zealots already taking some big shots, so we will have a lot of those Zealots going down. Good Widow Mine hits as well. The Zealots will keep on dropping currently. It's just too much Bio. The thing is, it's like you commit so much into just having a mass of Zealots. There's no support from them at this point. They're not overwhelming anymore, which is one of the things that Zealots can typically kind of, you know, hold themselves kind of, you know, in high regard with. There's just the numbers are not there comparative to what we're working with as ByuN at this point in time. And ByuN is going to take the opening game of the series. So ByuN gets the 1-0 lead, another win here, and he will advance through this group into the playoffs. And Cure will find himself eliminated. So let's see what happens on that one, guys. Just have to run some ads. They are going to sneak into the game. Otherwise, let me just set up for that. And our second map here will be Torches. JUMY's server preference, though, so he does have that going for him here in this next game. A little positive. Wait for JUMY to join us, and we will be good to resume. Alrighty. ByuN is ready. JUMY is ready. Like I say, we can go. And head into our final best of 3 of the day. JUMY says ready as well. Perfect. Let's do it. Let's jump on in. Game number 2. Fun map for it. My game against between Kira and Creator on this map was a lot of fun. I actually have really grown to love Torches. I felt like this map was never going to get played, but the fact it actually gets played in the best 3, I mean, I think that was my biggest complaint about it. It's also difficult to imagine how games were going to work on the map, but honestly, we get some pretty good games on this map. I really enjoy it. This map's been an undercover kind of superstar from the last TLMC, I guess, from my eyes. As in the bottom right, JUMY is our blue Protoss player. In the upper right, ByuN is our red Terran player. We get into game 3. Game 2 of this series. But it is the final series of the day, is what I had in my mind. Thinking final, I say game 3. Is the final series of the day, guys. We'll see how this goes. I'll see what happens to get this set up. Okay, we're coming about. Simulator coming through. No crazy proxies or anything just yet for this second game. Not seen anyone overstepping their typical expectations of boundaries or anything just now. As that barracks will finish and the SCV comes about, Gateway and the probe continuing up as well. And that probe's going to come out down to the low ground to, again, see a little bit of what's going on. Just a little bit of setting up still for the moment as we have obviously a few moments with the Cybercore coming online soon. We will start to see a little bit more of what the tech really will be here, which is obviously very exciting. So getting that up and running. Bring that through momentarily. And yeah, I guess get a bit of a better read as to, like I say, where exactly we're heading to in this game. What exactly is going to be next for us? Hyper is already showing up and doing some poking about, doing some damage dealing. A little bit of fun between these guys, as JUMY especially probably knows that he's out. Just gonna try and enjoy the game a little bit. There's not too much else you can really do at this stage. So yeah, just try and make the most of it, have some fun. We have the Gateway and the Stargate continue to come up as well. Let's just continue to bring that straight through for the moment. Cyclone, a couple of Marines continue about. Let's see the Hellions and the Reapers together. Going to actually go through toward that mineral line and chase some probes away. A couple of Reapers get up into the main. Already had a couple workers go down this game, remember, so not ideal if you end up losing extras here. It's going to be pretty rough. You kind of like to stay somewhat clear of that if at all possible. JUMY wants to try and give himself his best chance to solidify that opportunity arises at all. So Ripper's actually going to get back through. There we go, just talking about the chance to maybe get more damage dealt. Going to come around right away there, so straight away just damage being found. As the Reaper's just escaping out. JUMY is just like, oh my god, I cannot for the life of me catch these Reapers. They keep getting away, and that's got to be a little bit of a frustration as the medevac comes back over. Medevac drops in. Marines in a Cyclone gather themselves together for a couple moments there and try to find a chance to maybe make a little bit of something happening. Phoenix going to chase the medevac away at least, but the Cyclone just didn't get that Phoenix. It did get away. It survived. It's still on the minimap as the Reaper comes back through for probes. I mean, honestly, ByuN is just kind of bullying JUMY left and right at the moment. It just keeps happening. Goes one way, goes the other. This doesn't seem to be ending at all. It does feel as though we have ourselves a situation where JUMY is not in the hottest of spots from all this early damage taken. However, okay, so what I don't like for JUMY is also not just taking damage, but he's playing Phoenix after taking damage, which is always really rough because, you know, straight up and simple, like, you are taking damage when you're playing a very defensive unit comp. Phoenix do not help you win fights as much as other unit compositions typically would. So it definitely puts you into a little bit of a weird position there for sure. It's definitely a strange scenario we've got coming around as we just take the gold basis JUMY on the left side. I mean, I like the risk taking. I like the kind of idea of trying to do something a little bit different right now. I think that makes a lot of sense. Guys, I gotta BRB one moment, sorry. I just love random people who are just like, hey, I'm just doing some work up the road. Do you need work? And I'm like, no. And he's like, why? And I'm like, I'm in the middle of work right now. I do not have the time to listen to you tell me about something I do not need, care, or want. Alright, sorry guys. Bio, Medevac, Cyclone continue to gather up. Stim Combat +1 coming through. Marines and the Medevac continue to come around. I can't get over it. I'm like, he starts to explain. He's like, oh, I'm just doing some work. I'm like, oh, not interested. He's like, why? I'm like, because I don't give a fuck. Like, what do you mean, why? I just don't need the work done. I don't care. Like, I'm not interested in getting any work done at all. I can't afford anything right now. Because there's 100 reasons. Ay. Anyways, this fight breaks out apparently. And just going to be seeing the Marines and the Cyclone continue to get going. Phoenix can get chased, just going to get the push back over this side, continuing through for a couple moments. It's going to be good enough. A couple of workers going down. I mean, ByuN definitely holding a supply lead coming out of this, so it's looking pretty cozy for the Terran player here. Is it cozy enough? So I've got a couple more Widow Mine shots coming through as well, so some good damage being done there. So it's going to be good enough indeed. ByuN is going to get himself first place in this group in the end, so bouncing back from that loss against Cure, which was a great TVT series as well. Unfortunately, that win was not good enough to see Cure through. And that is going to be us GGing and wrapping things up today. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Go enjoy Star Wars Agora. I'll be raiding them once we've ran some ads. And I'll be back on Monday for WardiTV Mondays. Super excited to be here for a little bit. And, yeah, I actually had a really good group and some way better viewership than I thought was going to happen as well, to be fair. So, it was a fun day. Alright, guys. I will see you guys on Monday. You guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks for everyone for watching. See you guys later. Bye.